Big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. I am kind of chuckling a little bit because I just got done with Quasi Bowls broadcast, and oh man, it was a hoot and nanny over there, as some people say. Um, um, I think I just saw that JK is going to be joining us pretty soon. He's going to do some take care of some affairs first, and then join this broadcast. But this is just a chill Sunday fun day style broadcast because yeah, at least I'm trying to make it chill because I just got into quite a bit of interesting back and forth between different perspectives, different ideas and feelings on our club, on our coach, on the players, on the fan base. I mean, it basically was quite a bit of different opinions being offered on a very uh, diverse panel that Quasi had for his community call-in. So big up to those that are joining us. I saw that Lee is going to be grabbing some beverages or some bevies real quick, and then he'll be joining us as well, at least in the chat, at least. But yeah, what a day of football today. There's a bunch that went on today, yesterday as well. But I mean, a lot of scores, a lot of goals this weekend. I will admit that a lot of goals this weekend. But it seems like, unfortunately for some, and fortunately for others out there, that Arsenal are closing in on a real difference maker of a season, in that they are going to possibly be getting one step closer, or at least made themselves one step closer to solidifying their grip on the Premier League trophy for this season. That is our title until it is no longer. So so I'm just going to hold on to that. But yeah, Arsenal are on possibly doing what they need to do to get the job done, which is perform at um, perform at basic levels and get the job done. Um, and it doesn't help if, when the closest contenders to the title, that being both Villa and City. I think Villa lost today, 1-0 at home, by the way. That was a surprise, by the way. I thought that was a huge surprise. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I was surprised that Villa lost the way they did, especially to a 10-man. I think it was 10-man Brentford. I think they played Brentford today. To lose to a 10-man squad is at home is almost it almost says that you are punching above your weight, possibly. And today I saw Spurs. I tuned in when it was 2-0. Maybe I didn't watch the Villa game, so I can't say it's all bad juju or something like that. But I did tune in to see 2-0 to City. But I'll say this: I can't stand City. I know I know that there are some that it's a lesser of two evils for them if City were to win against Arsenal. I don't really care. I don't want City nor Arsenal to win, to be honest with you. And seeing the bench, which was showcasing the two Peps, I'll call it that. Yeah, I could care less to see who wins this season. I can't. Yeah, Pep's one thing, but Pep Linders is a turncoat and absolutely reprehensible. His actions. Pep and Pepsi, Pep and Pepsi Max. Yeah, there you go. Uh, he's Crystal Pepsi, and he's what was the other one that and new Pepsi? Maybe is that was one of them? I think it was. I don't know. Absolutely, uh, the sheer fact that I don't know the Pep Linders is there helping, trying to help Pep is tough. I saw an interview where apparently he said something to the likes of, um, he said that Klopp told him that if he didn't take the assistant job, that Klopp would. Klopp never said that. I'm almost positive he never said that. And yes, I am calling Pep Linders a liar. I'm pretty sure he probably did not say that. Allegedly, I guess. I don't know whatever I have to do to cover my name, so I don't get into some legal issues with that statement. But there's absolutely no way Jurgen Klopp would ever say that he would go and be the assistant coach to Pep Guardiola. So that just made me even more, question Pep Linders. I'm hoping that's AI or something stupid that I fell for. But when I saw that, I was like, you're having a laugh. Um, uh, but then again, like I said, I tuned in, saw them up to nothing, and then I saw absolutely a Manchester City team, or excuse me, Manchester City team, yeah, Manchester City team, absolutely put it in cruise control, and unfortunately, it slipped out of gear. And for them, at least, it slipped out of gear, and they bottled that game. I would say that would be the least the assertion. Dominic Solanke having 2 goals in that game. I will admit that that first goal by Dominic Solanke should have been disallowed. I do believe it should have been disallowed simply because he made really n- no contact, if any at all, with the ball. He kicked through the leg of Mark Gahey, and that's how he scored that goal. I don't understand how VAR doesn't overrule that. But then again, I shouldn't say I don't understand or don't understand, because I do understand the fact that VAR is flawed in itself, and VAR ends up making mistakes themselves. So it is what it is. Um, Pick up Lee. Lee is back from his journey, and he's got his bevies in tote. Good to see you, Lee. Big up Hylor. Hylor was with us over at Quasi Bold and everything else, and definitely was I appreciate the support, Hylor. Um, let's see, Red Armchair supporter, shout out to you too. But yeah, there's a lot of conversation to be had today. In that, I saw the fact that Dominic Solanke scored. Dominic Soboslai. I was just talking about Dominic Solanke, but Dominic Soboslai was a player that spoke about his contract situation. Um, it was a relatively promising one. He said, "I said, quote, do I like it here? Of course. I like the city. I like the club. I like playing with these guys. I love Anfield. I love the fans. Let's see what the future holds. It is not on me. I would love to stay. We will see." Now, with that said, I know a lot of people are probably getting a little bit like um, riled up, maybe even anticipating a little bit of progressive action by the club to get this one sealed up, meaning like to get this to be a done deal. And I honestly do think that it will be. Um, I honestly do think it will be. Um, it will be something that um, I think is a priority, but is also something where um, I'm interested to see what the market's going to do for his salary negotiation when it comes to the to do everything else with it. Um, um, let's see, let's see. I also saw out there that I'm not certain how to properly pronounce his name, so I probably would do it an injustice in even trying to properly pronounce his Dutch name. But LG, the player that currently plays for Sunderland, I believe he plays for Sunderland, um, but is an RB Leipzig player. He's there. He's at Sunderland on loan. Um, there are talks in currently being had. Apparently, that's what Fabrizio Romano is reporting. I'll even introduce what he had to say. He said, Liverpool deal considered off by Sunderland after talks not advancing today. Discussions took place over last 24 hours, but no agreement at this stage, and Sunderland not planning to proceed. So there were some thoughts that we might get this player in at the very last moment, maybe even on deadline day, if we could work out a situation. He is a player, Gertruda, I think his last is pronounced name, but again, I don't want to mess up the pronunciation. Um, this guy is a player that played for Feyenoord, has obviously played for, by playing for Feyenoord, he's already played for Arne Slot as well. So Arne Slot would know who the player is. But it is a big question as to whether it would make that big of a difference um, if we had brought him in or not. But I just I'm still relatively optimistic that they are going to make a move. I know that there are some talks about the fact that Liverpool are interested in Keith Smith. We talked about that player quite some time ago. He is another Dutch player. I don't really have a problem with Dutch players. Let me make that abundantly clear. I have no issue or problem with Dutch players. I just think sometimes when I see a lot of the journalism being brought out there connecting us with Dutch players, I do give it a little bit of pause in that it's sometimes it could be a little bit of lazy journalism, and in that people will say, "Oh, well, we have a Dutch manager, so obviously you must want a Dutch player." I don't think it's that easy. But again, Liverpool are interested in Keith Smith. He's the AZ Alkmaar player. They said they are looking to sell him. Smith is admired by Liverpool, and don't be surprised if Liverpool were to make a move with some tentative talk. Uh, Talks believed to have taken place. I again think that this deal, if it were to take place, would be a deal that we most likely see in the summer, not in this January window. That's just my perspective. I am not an ITK. I make sure I make that statement known. This is just an opinion. You can call for what you want, but I do a lot of the reading just like you do. Um, I have um, I have seen something very interesting be reported in the last 45 minutes. Now, I'd have to. This was something I saw. It was another tweet, but it was brought up to my attention by Redman TV. And this was the tweet. It basically said the Reds now favorites to sign Jeremy Jacquet. Now I don't know if this is because I just signed him to my football manager or not, but I'm in my second year, about to come up on my January window. I already pre-signed him before even the January window got there, but I'm hoping it's true. I am hoping it's true. They did a retweet of a French publication that translated it as Liverpool is now in pole position to sign Jeremy Jacquet. Negotiations underway to try to reach a definitive agreement in the next few hours. Jeremy Jacquet has already given his okay for the deal. Now, originally, there was uh, some reports out there that that Jeremy, or JJ, as I'm calling him now, just so I don't mess up his pronunciation, was pretty much a done deal to Chelsea. So hearing this, but then I saw people starting to walk back that information and say that there were two teams still in very much in contention for the player. He is highly coveted. He is thought of as being a player that is welcome, would be a welcome addition to a lot of different teams, most notably Chelsea, Liverpool on that list. I know Manchester United were even interested in him reportedly or something along those lines. But it has now gotten down to two teams that are apparently front runners for his attention. And I think it would be good to see us go in for a player of his ability. Um, and that was again being reported not only by Redman TV, not only by uh, the a French reporter as well. It was also being stated by Kaveh Sohekel, who is a Sky Sports News pundit or commentator. He said there seems to be a transfer tug of war between Liverpool and Chelsea for the player, being JJ. And he explains the latest on Jeremy Jacquet's potential move to the Premier League. It's a very interesting one, and one that we would like to see get done. Again, the deal is an interesting one because it is not going to be a cheap one. The reported number that we are looking to possibly pay for the player would be Liverpool is in discussion to outbid Chelsea, and they would have to do so by making a bid of 55 million pounds up, straight up, plus a 5 million, excuse me, pound package deal for Jeremy Jacquet with Rhines for this, but it would be for the summer. Um, Not done yet, but talks advancing. Chelsea also in discussions. And again, that's being offered by Ben Jacobs. These are all notable and credible sources, whether you're talking about Fabrizio or you're talking about Ben Jacobs as well. So yeah, it is an interesting position that we see ourselves in. Do you think that's worth it? Do you think that that's maybe too much? I don't know if that is or not, but I'm very interested to see us maybe do what Chelsea tends to do to us, which is um, take a player that they covet, that they're trying to woo with their money and the likes, and get him to be involved in uh, get him to be involved with our club. It'd be very nice to see. Very nice to see. Um, Big up to Dara. Big up Dara. Big up. I hope that you are well, and all that are joining us. By the way, big up to you. Whether you're joining us on YouTube or X, we definitely appreciate each and every one of you for what you are offering to our channel, which is proper discourse and just as I like to say, being a just being a righteous and proper red, in my opinion, supporting a red that's on a journey that is trying to create a community out here that we can all have a conversation and discourse that includes everyone in the links. Um, what is on today's docket is an open format show. I wasn't necessarily going to go live today, but again, just when you think you're out, they pull you back in, like the Godfather, and and it ended up being we ended up getting into somewhat of a very interesting conversation on Quasi's show. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it on the replay. He's doing work over there that is admirable. He had at least when I saw it, I think he had like at least 60, 70 people in his chat. So it was a day where people were looking to get involved and get connected with some real conversations. Um, and what I found interesting about the conversations that we were having on the channel um, was some of the I would say the dark narratives that were somewhat being brought up as being common denominators or even common perspectives that we should that in some of the panel's mindsets we should hold, and in others like myself, like JK, like Quasi, that we should definitely despise, push away. Um, I know that pretty much every club out there has gotten reprimanded or fined or for doing things that maybe push the envelope, maybe even could be considered cheating in one way or another. But it doesn't mean that you have to endorse uh, it doesn't mean you have to endorse that mindset. I don't want to be that club. I don't want to be a supporter of that club. And I think that for the most part, we have always tried to do things above board and keep our hands clean. So it was very interesting some of the perspectives that we heard on his show, and it was one that I'm hoping that quite a few, which I do believe quite a few of the people in the chat do agree that one of the reasons why you possibly do follow this club is because we try to do things the right way, um, and that is that. Um, what else is there that I was going to say is I'm looking to see if I can find some of the other things I really wanted to talk about. Um, let me see what you guys have to say in the chat. Maybe that'll help me out here. Um, he's talking about he won a kit today. Oh wow, fancy that! Good for you, Lee. You won a kit for a bargain price. Uh, he's got a Steven Gerrard jersey. That's absolutely awesome. Dara is saying summer is here. He's referring to where Dara and myself live currently, and and it is it is definitely warm where we live right now. It's definitely warm, and considering that it is February, it's February 1st today. Today is the 1st of February. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Chelsea is currently a graveyard for young French center halves. Look at Fofana and Badiashile, etc. Hey, you know what? I agree, but for some reason, not for some reason, for a very noticeable reason, I think that players tend to choose to go to that club simply under the pretense that they are going to get paid. Um, they are definitely going to get paid by joining Chelsea, because Chelsea tend to not only overpay, but they tend to give lengthy contracts to the players. A very noticeable difference. Tyler says, with those results today, any Liverpool fan can breathe a little bit easier. Getting into that Champions League spot might be a bit easier than first feared. The Prem this year is below usual quality. That's exactly what I was arguing on on Quasi's channel, or at least it took a little while for me to be able to get into that subject, but because sometimes people get into this emotional roundabouts. They start waffling on about something that is off topic or isn't necessarily on the question that was originally posed. And, one thing I was saying is that I agree with what Hylor is saying. And what I mean by that is we saw today a Villa team lose 1-0 to a team that they absolutely, quote unquote, outplayed. And I'll even make sure that I get the points right, because I want to make sure I get the stats correct. Statistically, they controlled the ball 72% of the time. Brentford had 28% possession in this game. 28%. In the second half, they had 14% possession. 14% possession in the second half. They had a XG of 0.1 in the second half and an XG of 0.27 in the first half, leading to a 0.38 XG and a 2.4 XG for Villa. Yet they took full advantage of their opportunities. They had 12. Villa had 12 corner kicks. They had 27 shots. I think they had very few of those shots were on goal, by the way. They had 27 shots all the same. And yet here you see a Villa team at home where they normally don't lose, a place that is a very difficult place to win. And they're trying to keep pace with Arsenal. They lost today. I saw a Tottenham team, a Spurs team, where I saw, and this is something that was noticeable to the naked eye, you saw a Spurs team get booed off the pitch at halftime. Spurs fans booed their team as they left the pitch at halftime. And then, not only did they boo their team, they got up and left. There was visually seats, and I don't mean a few seats, I mean sections of seats empty at this Spurs matchup against City, despite Spurs being a absolute pain in the neck for City lately. Despite the fact that Spurs could be out of form, or they could be, let's just call it what it is, wretched, they still somehow figure out a way to play a very formidable match against City in the last couple of years. And this year was no different. They absolutely persevered in that game and got a draw against City in a game where they should have been beaten, I believe. And what I mean by they should have been beaten is in that game, you're looking at 61% possession of the ball. You're looking at a team that they had about the same amount of shots, but a team that still overall, other than tackles, Manchester City outplayed them statistically in every category. But what I do agree with Hylor, and the point I was bringing up and why I even brought up those games, was the fact that I think that this, and I get people are going to say, "Oh, well, they said that same thing about the league last year," and I understand they did, but this league is at a all-time low when it comes to actual quality of games that we get to watch in the league. Now, I'm not saying we have below quality players because I think, honestly, I believe that when Premier League goes outside of the Premier League, we've seen it with Newcastle, we've seen it with Spurs, we've seen it with Liverpool, we've seen it with Manchester City. When they go out the league to go and play in Europe, it is a different format. It's a different presentation that you're getting to see. And unlike the Premier League, where you're going to have to deal with low blocks and set pieces and corners and time wasting, you're dealing with a little bit more open play, a little bit more, teams playing to win, playing to get results. There's all types of extra incentives to win in Europe. Obviously, when you win in Europe, you actually can help your chances of progressing in into the latter rounds and thus making a boatload of money. I think it was like something like 44 million, 40 over 44 million is what Liverpool got for just qualifying for the next rounds, or not even the next rounds, but the going beyond the playoff rounds and going into the round of 16. And you get incentives by the fact that if you win a game, you win a certain amount of millions of dollars as opposed to it just being just another win. But in the Premier League, it is not the case. And it is a case where quite a bit of teams understand the fact that there is one way to progress or at least save that Premier League check being sent in the mail, and that is playing the dark arts sometimes in the sense of just playing for the time wasting and the corner kicks and set pieces and the likes, which can be frustrating. Can be frustrating to see. Oh, we got JK in the building with us. How are you doing, JK?
I'm all good, bro. What you saying?
Man, I don't know. This what am I not saying after that exchange on Quasi's show? But
Oh, it's
yeah,
funny.
we're
Like
doing our thing.
it's like we do when you look at the world in the old days. Everyone had problems, but everyone had a smile on their face. This new generation, the new world we're living in, everyone is fucking pissed off. What are you pissed off about? You should be pissed off at the cost of living. Moan at the people, politicians. Don't moan at other Liverpool fans, man. I
Hmm,
just don't understand
hmm,
this world, bro.
hmm.
Yeah, man. When
Um,
people like Salah and Virgil van Dijk are getting negative energy towards them because they've had a few off games, after having a tremendous career at Liverpool. As I've said before, bro, none of us would have had a chance in the football world. We'd be
no,
done.
no,
We'd
I
be done
get
after
that. I get
45
that.
minutes, bro. We'd
I
be
get
done.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
didn't.
down chair.
Yeah, I
And with
definitely get that. I know it's a difficult place to be in these forums because a lot of the interaction that you have are with people that may not be as long upon the pathway that is, just life in general, much less football path.
hmm
And you get into these conversations and you get into these ideas that are formulated that when you really boil it down have no real base, you know no real legs to stand on. Um, and that can be frustrating sometimes when you're dealing with that because you're not able to have a conversation. I think that's the reason why I'm saying it the way I am.
hmm
Like, how often do we find people quick to call others names. Oh, you're a top red, you're this, you're that. When rather than just debate the person and try to have an actual conversation, you've resorted to name calling, and you've resorted to trying to draw a line between you and that person to not allow for a conversation to exist. It's a low bar, and it's a very low form of conversation, I think. And I think, unfortunately, that's what we see a lot of times happen. But
Yeah, but
it
it's
is what it
like
is.
when you think of depression and everything, how like the numbers are skyrocketed ever since the internet's been out there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all bros here, like Lee Kid Helio, Red Armchair. I treat these bros like my like family, you know. So
Mhm.
that I would get nothing out of putting these guys down in a conversation about football. And a lot
Mm.
of people out there who want to do that in football shows. Like for me, it ain't about the brownie points. For me, it's like uplifting every human out there, because when you look at the world we're in, it's all about breaking each other down and this, and that's why Twitter's out there. X,
Mhm.
it's a madness out there, bro. Everyone's out there stating their who's right at the end of the day. For me, football is a game of it's a good energy game. Football, you know, it's
Mhm.
to build a team of individuals into a team, you know, and that's what life's all
No,
about, you know.
no, I agree. It sucks because I will admit, like, you would think it would be easy to a lot of people, speak to me via now at least via the comment section, or some email me, some hit me up on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And I bring that up because you know, I don't mind listening to people. I actually think that the smartest man in the room is the one that listens rather than talks sometimes. And I don't mind in enriching myself in some of the journey, or some of the knowledge, or some of the experiences, or again, insights that people have. But I enjoy conversation to be a debate as well. I enjoy listening to different perspectives, but sometimes some of the Chicken Little style talk that goes on, I'm just like, no, you can miss me with that. I'm just, I'm trying to uplift our fan base, or keep our fan base, moving forward, as opposed to, not wanting to be an ostrich with our heads stuck in the ground.
And that's
Um,
why when we were talking with Quasi and Pops, and we were talking about United and Arsenal and stuff, what when the internet hit the mainstream and it was there, it was the time United and Arsenal weren't doing great, and I was like,
mm,
praise the Lord that it weren't Liverpool, because imagine now, bro, what we'll be in. We'll be in a
mm,
real rough sort of fan base, and I said, and that was one of the main reasons why I came onto YouTube and stuff. Was I was like, I'm gonna make sure our fan base never heads that way. That was
mhm.
like the main reason. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we could all be frustrated and pissed off, no problem. You know, we're not fucking idiots here. We're gonna state the
Mm,
obvious. Snot's not doing a great job, but for me to come out here every day and blaspheme him, it's not where we're at, bro. I don't want to be at that level of fan base, and that's what football's all about. There's a reason why Helio lives in a different country. You live in a different
mhm,
country. There's a
mhm,
reason why you guys support Liverpool, bro. I don't want to take that away from the future of Liverpool fans. You know,
mhm,
that we're a bunch of fucking idiots shouting at the manager and the club all the time. You know,
mhm,
there's a
mhm,
time and place to do that. But doing it
mhm.
constantly and ending up like the way Arsenal. Have you heard the Tottenham fan base? Whoa,
Yes,
whoa,
sir. Yeah.
whoa.
They've been
Nah,
miserable
man,
for
I don't
some
want to be
time,
involved
though.
in that.
They've been miserable for some time. They had a brief moment of, and you know how difficult it is. I'm sure it's difficult to be a Spurs supporter, um, being that you are often the butt of jokes, basically. Um, but they finally got a taste of success by going on to win their Europa championship, or Europa title, or Europa trophy. And that is an accomplishment, by the way. That is a major accomplishment. But it was short lived. And on top of that, not only was it short lived, it was a situation where uh, the manager that achieved the feat was a manager that also in the Premier League got them 17th place or something like that, or
Yeah.
or eight, so it became difficult because there was a big asterisk associated with that trophy, and and Thomas Frank is going through some tough times at Spurs. He must he I'm sure he knew it was not going to be an easy one, but but he's definitely going through some tough times there in North London.
But they played okay today, second half. First half, really bad. Second half, picked it up, got a 2-2. Man City for me, bro. What City we're going to get next week? So Rodri should have been sent off, so he shouldn't have been playing next week.
Agreed. Rodri should have been sent off, and so should there was another player that had a yellow. Let me see. There's someone else that had a yellow that should have been possibly sent off as well. Hold on. Let me pull up the
But it's not the same City. Like the old school City back in the days, like you're 2-0 up, they'll go and make it 4-5, But it's
hey,
not.
Pep Linders.
I've seen him there today, sitting there next to Pep Guardiola. Funny.
Yeah.
I just got quickly, like Julio just made a nice point about. That's what I want about football shows. It should be a place where we get knowledge of each other fans. Like for me, Julio, top lad, who gives a lot of stats and stuff. And he's wrote there, I've seen the stats, and lesser goals are coming from open play. That's the sort of knowledge football shows should be all about, where you say, wow, I like that, It's a place where you should go where you pick up something.
It should be, but as often those shows out there, those shows out there that do that kind of work, they are not necessarily must-see TV when it comes to the back and forth and the battle royals and the likes that you see on other channels of people getting cooked and getting embarrassed and the likes.
That comes when a big game's coming up. You got Liverpool, you got City, and what happens is on the other big channels and stuff, the Liverpool fan the Man City fan next week will have to come on that show just to be blasphemed. So he's thinking, you know what? I've got 2 hours of them taking the piss out of my club and me. And what happens next week is going to be the other way around. So that's what that world is now. I don't want to be involved in that sort of shit. Man. Funny world.
I'll tell you this too. I'd be interested to see. I know High Lord, like you said, tends to have a lot of stats and facts. I'd like to know how many not only just yellow cards, how many red cards have been already. I mean, I've seen a lot of red cards be issued this season. I think it's connected to I think it's the level of play that has gone down, in my opinion, at least the level of play that's gone down because, again, because of the way that the officials, the refs, or VAR and the likes, the league in general have allowed for, holding and certain fouls to go unwarranted or unpunished, and then in other games, they seem to be fully punishable. Held to merit. So it's a weird one.
Like I seen it. What game was it today? The Villa game. The guy, was it Brentford? I think it was the Brentford defender. He was just hugging him like, "Come on."
Oh, it was that was horrible. That was horrible. He held on. He wrapped his arms around him like he was trying to, like he was.
He's like, bro, I ain't seen you in 20 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen you so long. It's so good to see you. Oh, we're taking a corner kick? Come on. And on top of that, I even mentioned, and this isn't, trust me, I do not want Manchester City to win the title. I do not like Manchester City. Like I said, seeing Manchester City with Gahey now, seeing Manchester City, with especially looking at the sideline, looking at Pep Linders on the sideline, makes me
Oh, that
say
alone,
on that team. Ugh.
that alone for me next Sunday. Like it's a big game now. Like United won, City, Chelsea won.
Mhm.
Villa and City both City drew and Villa lost. Like Villa, proper letdown. Like I
Yeah.
thought, you know what? If Villa have lost against Everton and Brentford in the last 2 weeks at home. Villa ain't all that
Mm.
100%. Then they're good and they're bad. Arsenal, yeah, 4-0 away to Leeds and stuff. So I don't know. I think Liverpool. I think if we were at the races,
Mhm.
this season could have been wrapped up as well, bro. I'm telling you now.
Mhm.
Um, I just feel Liverpool. Look at that display yesterday. Yesterday was the first display I've seen with Arnie Slot where it had a little bit of a resemblance of Klopp. That was the game yesterday. It was just different. Um, it was more energetic. It was what you wanted to see from a Liverpool team. That result
Mhm.
yesterday. Got 1-0 down. Okay, it happens. And then bang, we get 4 goals. Why did that happen yesterday? Why didn't that happen in that Brentford game, in the Fulham game as well recently? I think
Mhm.
Arnie Slot's, like, and you've also seen that I've seen Endo more in the last week than I've seen him more in the last since he's joined us. You know what I mean, though? Why is he
Yeah.
doing that now for? Why? Because he's Slot's probably come to his senses now and is thinking we can be destroy teams, not just by the 2-1 or a 1-0 or a 3-2 or something like that. No, no, no. We battered Newcastle yesterday 4-1. Could have got more. But they started off well, Newcastle, don't get me wrong. But
Mhm.
end result 4-1 could have been 6-7, bro. And Slot needs to realise now we've got the players to destroy teams. And I think he might have just woken up now. I think when your name's on the line, your job,
Mhm.
um, you might result to going back to basics and actually look at things logically instead of trying to do it your way. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. Agreed. I mean, maybe he's getting forced out of his comfort zone and having to, give players opportunities that he normally wouldn't have given opportunities before. I agree with that. We saw Chiesa get a rare entry into a match. We saw, like you spoke on, Endo be called on to get some minutes, and these are players that have been arguably ready all season. I know there's been parts where Chiesa has been injured or unfit to play. Endo the same. He's been injured in parts of the season, but these are players that all would certainly do whatever they can to contribute to the club. Yet, our manager chose elsewise, but now he's making those choices to include them. So hey, if it means that we can go on and win the league, or we can go on to not win the league, excuse me, win the Champions League, you know,
I'm not going to get my
guys, the
hopes up
Freudian
too high
slip.
because I think when you look at the Premier League sort of thing, that's not going to happen. So cool. So getting rhythm in the Premier League is a good thing for the Champions League because like rhythm is the best thing in football. When you got the momentum of winning, um, it keeps going. Then so we've got the FA Cup, we've got the Champions League, and we've got the
Mm-hmm.
top four business. And I don't really like saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Bournemouth, the Bournemouth result the other week, if we got a win there, I think it would have been a nice, good phase for Slot. Like even though we got all them draws, them three
Mm-hmm.
points now would have us above Chelsea and United, and finishing third in the Champions League. It would have been all right. You know what I mean? Not great, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed. 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 Big up Norm. Big up Norm in the
No,
house.
nice one, Norman. Hope you're cool, bro.
Um,
How was that game for you yesterday, Norman? Was it a little bit of a resemblance of Klopp's games? Slot sort of let his hair down, even though he ain't got any. We can destroy teams, bro. Look at Wirtz. You know, like when I see Wirtz now, when we first said like we're going after Wirtz, bang! I had this vision he's going to come to Liverpool and he's going to do what he's been doing, and he weren't doing it at the start. And did you hear people were like, even Didier Man was like, he might go to Bayern Munich on loan. I'm thinking, where do these people get the information from, and why do they say things like this? You know, like there was some Liverpool fans saying, I got this guy, and why did we get this guy? And I just don't understand like how come football fans ain't got patience with players. It's like it's for me logic. That's why I never jump on no new signing. Even Kirkes when he first started wasn't great, and there's a reason for us to moan about him. But I knew with his determination that he's something. He's all right. He is. I like him, and I think he was okay yesterday. He wasn't great against Bournemouth. It was his old club, hence why I didn't say nothing. But before that, I think Kirk has sort of slowly found his feet, and that's why, as football fans and especially Liverpool fans, you've got to have patience with football players who come to a new club. When you look at Wirtz, I've seen a lot of interviews with Wirtz. He comes from a big family, 9 brothers and sisters, and he comes from like a old school German sort of setting, and he's coming all the way to England now. He's never left home. Yeah, he played for Leverkusen, so he's still in the same vicinity from where he was born and stuff. And he's gone to England, Liverpool, a city that's freezing, windy, weather isn't great, but it's a top place to play football. And now he's sort of found his feet. And I was thinking, what was all the fuss about? You know, football fans need to calm down, man.
Yeah, I agree. They said the same about Robbo. You know, people were unhappy when Robbo originally was transferred here. He didn't necessarily hit the ground running, but he eventually got his feet, and he eventually made some real doubters to believers, I would say. In
Robertson for me was the deal done down the pub for £5 Sunday league style, and you get the player in, and he turns out to be great. For me, I think when I look at football, I think Andy Robertson for me, pound for pound, player for player, is probably the best ever signing deal wise, money wise ever in the Premier League. Come on, 7 million,
yeah,
and you're getting that. Come on, man, you don't get that. You don't get that now. Any manager who pulls off a deal like that now, you got to big him up. So whoever pulled off the Robertson deal for me is a top guy, man. If it was probably Edwards, because I'm not really sure who did it. But at the end of the day, Klopp wanted him. Yeah. So Klopp, fair play to you, man. What a deal. Hi, Daryl. Hope you're cool, man.
big up, Daryl. Hope that you're well.
I'm feeling big, well. Nice to see you, bro.
Yeah. There is news that Liverpool has taken over the pole position in the signature for JJ, but there's still work to be done until you see him lift that kid up and say, "I'm a Liverpool Red." You know,
new jacket.
I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch when it comes with that one.
What time does the window close?
Excuse me, 7 p.m. 7 p.m.
UK time.
UK time. Yep.
Okay.
On February 2nd too, by the way. Tomorrow.
Oh, is it February 2nd? Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be closing tomorrow, 7 p.m.
Yeah, tomorrow 7 p.m. Yeah. So there's time to, like, for me, any defender we get in is for like safety measures. Like Kanate has come back now. We could talk about Kanate later if you want. But Kanate has come back now and probably played the game. He had to play that game yesterday, and he had to score. I knew he was going to score yesterday. It was just weird. I just had a funny feeling. I said, you know what, Kanate is going to score. And he won't.
I thought that too, though. I did. Yeah, he looked like he was trying. He was like actively trying to score.
Get on the score sheet. Yeah. It had to happen, bro. I had things.
Yeah.
That's what I say about Liverpool and football. It's magical, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not his biggest fan, bro. I have been, I haven't been.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday's display from a Kanate of after the weeks he's had, it had to happen, and you could tell he hasn't slept and eaten because he looked like he's lost weight. But he had to have that game yesterday, and when he scored, bro, I was so happy. I've never been happier, probably in a
Mm-hmm.
long time, for a player to score. Works when he got his first goal, and then Kanate and Isaac when he got his first. When Kanate scored yesterday, I was like, I was so made up for him.
Oh wow. Let me say this. High Lord just alerted me of something.
Mm-hmm.
And this is on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter page. Breaking: Jeremy Jacquet to Liverpool. Here we go.
Oh, it's happening now.
Deal agreed now. Deal agreed now for June 2026 as
Oh, no.
revealed. Yeah, not
Okay. I thought it was
understand fee.
tonight.
Yeah, right. Understand fee is 60 million euros plus 10
Oh.
million euros in add-ons to Reigns. That's a lot, actually. It's
Uh-huh.
about, I think that was right around the number I spoke on, 55 million plus 5 million, basically pounds, that is. But anyway, Jeremy has agreed personal terms of LFC. Agreement done for summer 2026 for one of the most talented center backs in the world. Again, that is not clickbait. I am on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter page. We all know that Fabrizio Romano is a legitimate source when it comes to, hearing updates or the likes. But that's just one more signature that we definitely
Need.
would
Hmm.
yeah, we definitely need. We definitely need that.
I can't say I know a lot about the lad. But one thing we can
That
be
was just
happy
7 minutes
about
ago,
is,
by the way. That was just 7 minutes ago.
yeah, so we can be happy that Liverpool, we don't really mess up when it comes to signings. They all sort of come through. Even the load we got from this summer, not all of them landed straight away. And now recently, Kirkers and I'll say Wirtz have landed. So that's
Mhm,
one thing Liverpool don't do, is buy really bad players.
mhm, yeah,
Kiate, I don't know how you want to say his name, but I would just say
mhm,
he scored at Old Trafford, and we could say
mhm,
he was a bad signing. He scored at Old Trafford even.
mhm.
So this lad coming
He's a
in,
very
fair play.
coveted player. He's a very coveted player. I know that Rennes is not necessarily a inspiring team, or to say the least. But
They
he is a
were
talented player.
last year, was it, or the year before? They had a good little run. Because I
Yeah,
watched a few of their games, Rens. I was like, okay, they look lively.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Let me see if I can see where they're at in La Liga actually right now. Currently, they're in
Liga.
sixth place. They're in sixth place in League 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Thank you,
6,
Seth, for
7.
these.
Yeah, what
I think
we
French was the first 1 to 10 I've learned. Actually, I learned it in Indian first, but French was the second language I learned 1 to 10 in.
mm,
Hmm. Yeah.
nice. Very nice, very nice. We enough these. Definitely. Um yes, they sit in sixth place. They're 17 points behind PSG. PSG is not, by the way, they do not have a commanding lead over. I would think probably RC Lens would be a
Lens.
surprise to be in, or Lens, RC
Hmm.
Lens. It would be a surprise to see them in second place, but it would also be a surprise somewhat to see them only 2 points behind PSG,
Fair
I
play.
would think.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I've heard about them. They're like really behind them. You got Marseille there. Marseille, I was really disappointed when we played them. I was expecting big things from them in that game.
mhm, mhm.
Monaco,
Also, with Marseille, De Zerbi did come out and kind of put I don't know if maybe he if he was trying to do a little tongue in cheek, but he did say something to the lines of he's still got some energy to be Marseille's coach for maybe another 5 to 6 years. um, that says something. So there were reports that he had put in his resignation. I guess those reports are inaccurate, by the way. I'm excited about the little French-Italian connection that we might have as the future of our center half. Agreed. Agreed. I'm definitely optimistic. I think that that's the way that you have to run a club, in my opinion. That's the way hey, it's the way I was explaining it to. I don't know if Nalante is about to join us or not, but like I remember I was talking to Nalante, and we were talking about um, we were talking about the direction of the club, just not blah blah blah. But we are also talking about how we go about with youth academy signatures, or playing youth academy players, or just trusting youth academy players in general. And I was saying how like I believe that you should have a good balance. This was something I remember because I do remember I was on Coppish when I brought this up, or maybe it might have even been Jamie Phillips' show, but um, I just remember people were talking about the age of the players of our team, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff about how we're long in the tooth for this and for that reason. People often go and reference, for instance, the fact that Jurgen Klopp actively went out to sign Hendo and Milner to extensions, despite the fact that they were certainly on the back end of their football, uh, you know, football youth. Okay, and I just really referenced the fact that if you did look at our team, even at that time, yes, there were some older players, some that were like, you had your Oxes and your and the likes that were, in their late 20s and the likes, or you had your players that were in their 30s. I get that. But if you looked at our team, I'll make it easy numbers, even though I believe it's 25 players that you have. Let's just say it's 24 players that we're going to focus on. Okay, let's just say 24 to make it easy. If you did look at it, there would be 8 players in that 28 and above, round, that are normally your senior veteran players, your leadership group, and then there was like 8 players in that sweet spot, being 23 to 28. And then there was 8 players that were 23 and under that were with the team, for the most part. I'm rounding off here or there, but that was kind of the dynamic, and I think that that's the dynamic that you need in a good squad, because that way you can have the proper progression in a squad as a team tries to cycle in players, and break away from sometimes finding a team that has too many holes, too many pitfalls amongst it, I would say. You in agreement on that, JK? Or yep, JK is maybe taking care of Smokey, but oh, still talking about that jersey. Okay. Let's see. Robbo and Ibu, its contract runs out this summer, which it does. Van Dyke and Gomez's contract. It's interesting. Put because you're talking about defensive players. I take it. VVD and Gomez's contract runs out next summer. Yeah, he would say that we really need to do some business in our defense. It's agreed. It's agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
What were you saying a moment ago, bro?
Oh, just about having when it comes to having the demographics of a club or a team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's always good to have. So, oh man, let me see if I can find it because I have a new computer. So some of
Hmm.
the graphics and stats and stuff that I used to have on my desktop are not
Hmm.
on this laptop. But let me see if I um let me see if I can find it for you. Players. Let's see. Um, there was a it was like an active mix of players. It was like so I say. All right, so here I will show you this. Let me see if this might show you a good way of doing it, but let me see if this one is too. Let me give you 1 second. Because this one is up to date, but let me also show you this. That one's a little bit blurry, so you can't really see it. So even though the graphic is a good one. Um, I will show you this right here. Hold on, let me see if I can open this image in a different spot. All right. Um, this is what I mean by the dynamics, the demographics, at least. And again, this is just me. I tend to be like I play FIFA mid or EA FC. I don't mind playing that, but I also I prefer to play Football Manager, for instance, when I go into my virtual fantasy world. Um, and whoops, I hit the wrong button there. Sorry about that. I'm going to share this with you. So if you look at our team, this is the whoops. Let me make sure of something. Okay, just wanted to make sure of something before I ended up sharing it. Here, I'll make it even better there.
Yeah, it's a nice top
This
quiz. It was good.
this is the this is the dynamic, excuse me, of our squad, and it is why I'm bringing this up is because if you look at it, you see Van Dyke, Salah, you can see the ages. So at the bottom, it shows you 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Van Dyke's 34 years old. He's rounding in on 35. I get that. But you see Salah, you see Ali, you see Endo, and you see Robbo, right? Let's you don't have to necessarily take Endo for we take Endo for what it is, you know. But if you look at our squad, those 5 players all in their 30s. But then if you look at the dynamics of our club, it is a virtual, you know, progression of a slope downwards as you
Hmm.
go through the rest of the club. And I've always said that you your core members, your the players that are your veterans and your senior players that are your leadership group, Van Dyke, Salah, Ali, Robbo, those are our leaders on our team. That's why I get that they're 30, they're over 30 years old, but they're still with the club. Endo is still an influential player in the locker room in that he just leads by example by the effort and commitment that he makes to the club. So I don't mind having Endo, despite him being over 30. But then you look at the rest of our club, and our club still fits into that perfect dynamic of players that are in their 25 and over. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players, including Isak, that are 25 to 30. And then you look at the rest of our team, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players that are all 25 and under. So I just think that you have to do a good balance of you have to do a good balance in the demographics of your
Hmm.
club if you plan on trying to continue to evolve your club to compete year after year after year. And eventually, yes, some of those players like your VVDs and your Salahs that are in that 30 plus range will be removed from the club. We get that. We will move on from them. But yet in that same case, you know, and this is why I've always, not always, but I've as of recently been saying about McAllister maybe being looked at as a captain for our team, and it's because like if you look at that next group of players, Woodman never is going to be our captain. He's a goalkeeper, plus he's a third string goalkeeper. Gomez could be a captain, but yet doesn't get enough playing time. I'm saying could be because he's our longest serving player, and certainly a leader on the team, but we might be moving on from him in the summertime too. Chiesa, come on, let's just move on from that conversation. Cody Gakpo, if this manager stays, maybe, but that's just a joke. But if not, I don't think Gakpo is going to be a candidate for captain. Ibu at one time wanted to be the Liverpool captain. For some reason, I think he's changed his approach towards that pursuit. But what it means is we are going to have to look for leadership from some of these younger groups or younger dynamics. Unless McAllister becomes our next captain, for instance, you know, we're going to most likely have a captain that is under 30 years old. You know, a captain that's arguably under 28 years old. And quite often, that's not the case. Quite often, you have the captains of your team tend to be the older statesmen of the club. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think a good balance of young players and experience is, just as Philip's saying, is very, very important to have a well balanced and capable team to go through the ups and downs of a season. So that's what I was trying to make.
That graphic you pulled up, the slope in age is perfect, I reckon. And Helio
Yeah.
says our average age is 26.2 years. I think that's perfect prime time football age, 26, huh? So
Yeah.
Chelsea 23.4, and you see it in their games, the inexperience they have sometimes. You've got to have experienced players in the squad, bro. If Virgil Salah worked there and Alisson, we'd be Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
yeah.
But Chelsea are pointing.
I think it's a point, though. I mean, there's a reason why, too. We're the 12th youngest team in the Premier League. But also, what I am saying is I don't mind us being right in the middle of that dynamic. We should be 12th or 10th or 11th, somewhere around there in having right. That for me is an about right dynamic.
Yeah.
And the fact that we can have players that, you know, like your Salahs, like your Robos, like your VVDs, you know, in that upper 30 bracket that are teaching these younger players what it takes to be a professional, what it takes to be a Liverpool Red, and to hopefully pass the baton on to them so that they can progress forward in bringing us, true proper glory to the Liverpool name. What is this? Just seeing if anyone's following along or if we're still talking about Lee WizKid's score in eBay. But
he's talking about the trash meat tack version.
I got you. Yeah. Let's definitely. If there's any topics that the chat wants to bring up, feel free to. So I know it's what 11:40 in the what time? No wait, it's 11:40 or 10:40. 10:40. Okay. Yep.
How did you reckon Gravenberch played yesterday? 12.
I thought that he had a decent game. I didn't mind his play. I know a lot of people had him as being one of our better players yesterday.
I reckon he played.
You said this is top. Yeah, I think you went as far as to say it was his best game
in a while. He was everywhere, bro, and he was running everywhere, and he was advancing with the ball really well. I think that's improved in his game. I noticed that when he's got the ball, he can, and the way he turns in tight situations, I like that. He's very good at that. Yeah, man. I mean, he's really impressed me in that way. Yesterday, he didn't. It looked like he had the game under control.
Yeah.
You know, I think when Gravenberch plays well, we play well. I always say that. When the DM sort of plays well, the
Hmm.
team sort of plays well, you know?
I think I would go one step further and say I think when our pivot plays well, we play well.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't think McAllister had a over the top game yesterday. I'm not trying to
No,
like
no.
big him up that way, but I don't think that he had a bad game either. And I think that like when you have both Grav and Maka playing on a 7 or above level, I think our midfield goes back to being a very formidable midfield
Mm-hmm.
to have to
Mm-hmm.
reckon against. I think that we definitely outplayed their midfield for the latter stages of that game. Albeit it was an easier midfield to take on simply because Joe Linton's not there, Bruno wasn't there, but they still have some notable players that are really talented in their midst. Looky here. We have Nolante in the house,
Oh,
people.
bless.
I wish I had a air horn or something like that in my
Mm-hmm.
there you go, or something like that.
The Indian Cricket Premier League, they have this horn in the game, like the crowd will do it, and it sound. I want to get that sound.
Okay, do it. Definitely do it.
I'll get it. Hi,
Definitely do it.
Nalante. I hope you're
Let's
cool, bro.
bring in Nolante into
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I have arrived with your presence. Season's greetings, salutations.
there you
So
go.
if you're talking about should have one of the things, what I would like to have is Maya on my left and Amory on my right. That will be a man string, but we digress.
There you go.
We digress. We
Right
digress.
now, you take a DM and a centre back.
Oh, what happened? Nolante. Yeah, I'll say this right now, Nolante.
Yeah.
Big up for joining
Big
us
up the
because
chat. Big up the chat also. Sorry
our
to big
numbers
up the
have
chat.
our numbers. No doubt, no doubt. I was just gonna say our numbers have jumped from about 20 of the OGs to now we're at 80 people in the chat right now.
Oh,
So
wicked. Oh, that's great, man.
I don't know who Nolante was hanging out with, but big
Yeah.
up, big up. I did see a shout from Drifty, so maybe it was a little help from Drifty from Coppish too, by the way. So
Yeah, there, man. Algorithm, man.
yes.
Well, you work hard for, you get rewarded, as God always says.
Yeah. We all do. And
Yeah.
it takes a community. That's how I see it. So so certainly big up to all those that are joining us, whether you're on X or whether you're on YouTube. Be sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, that we're trying to make a difference here in creating a community where we can all talk. No, we are slowly, surely right. This has got this I was trying to think of a polite way of saying it. It's got my the number is slowly but surely ticking up. It's like my temperature when I would see Dua Lipa or something maybe. But but that's all different maybe. Getting a little hot.
DM.
There you go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Or a new DM in the Liverpool shirt tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I am excited though for the 90 people in the chat. Let me say this. How are you feeling about the news announced by Fabrizio that we will be signing the likes of Jeremy Jacquet to Liverpool? How are you feeling about that? Are you excited?
It
Optimistic?
sounds like a Michelin chef.
Yeah. JJ.
I was going to do rustle up some meals.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay kicking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let me see if I can get the exact quote. Oh, here it is. The exact quote is Jeremy Jacquet, aka JJ, as I am affectionately calling him now, since he's apparently going to be a Liverpool Red. Jeremy Jacquet, JJ to Liverpool. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano reports the deal agreed now for June 2026. As revealed, It's understood his fee is 60 million euros plus
Oh, okay.
10 million euros in add-ons. Jeremy has agreed personal terms with LFC, agreed done for the summer of 2026 for one of the most talented center backs in the world. Big up. How are you feeling out there? How are you feeling? Tell me what your thoughts are. Oh, we're so close to 100 too, by the way. We only need 3 more people to get to 100. That'll be a good sign, by the way. So hopefully, get on your burner accounts if necessary. But how are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about it? Nolante, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, big up chat of always. Big up Red Armchair, Norm, and I know what you mean, Norm, Billy, you know what, but yeah. I don't know how to feel about this. Yeah, I mean, we signed someone. 60 million is a lot for a defender who's 20 and he's only had 31 league appearances. I've quickly done some research. I've never like Brian. I've never seen him play. I was just on the Irishman's channel. Big up Brian, the Irishman. And he was just playing some videos. He's a tall centre back. He's 6 foot plus. I think 6'2". I think.
Yeah,
He's quite
he's
tall.
tall.
He's tall, understandably. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I mean, the defender really should have got him in for now, but we'll give him a chance, and hopefully, obviously, Chelsea. A lot of everyone was circling around him, but he wanted to come to the Premier League, and it's good to beat those money bags at West London. So we got him, but I don't know, man. I don't want it to be a lot of pressure because for me, more important, next season, VVD, he has to certain Premiership games. He has to be rested because for me, he's been burnt out a lot. And although he's been pulled out parts this season, but he's been playing nearly every game. So, but is the Jack K going to be able to play? It's too much to expect him. So yeah, a lot of questions to you ask. It's okay, but well, I'll take it. I'll take it when it comes anyway. So, but it's the Liverpool FSG trying to do the PR. We're not happy. Oh, guess what? We've got to sign a defender. When is he signed? Play. Oh, next season. Yay! Typical FSG's spin. Oh yeah, there you go.
There you go. Well, some of us aren't. Some of us aren't as happy as others, as we see. All right. Well, how are you feeling about it, JK? Tell us how you're feeling about it.
The thing is, with modern day football, you don't really know about a lot about like when Kanate came in. Not all of us knew a lot about him. Yeah, he played for Leipzig, so I've seen him a few times and that. But that's the new era of football now. Players are popping up, they're costing you 50 million. You never heard of the fucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way we're in. Is football is a business. Hence the fee for a lad. This time last week, none of us ever heard of. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Might have seen his name pop up in this, that, and the other. Chelsea are interested, whatever. But that's football. But as I've said before, Liverpool, when it comes to signings, don't mess about. Wirtz and Kirkes, for me, they've landed now and they found their feet. Frimpong, sound. Ekatike sound. Isaac sound if he didn't get injured because he scored his goal. But we don't mess up on signing. So this lad, fair play. We need centre backs.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Yeah, we do. Well, you know what? I want you to continue with your thought. I just wanted to add this point. So apparently, Indy Kalea, or I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's reported that Liverpool today made. Obviously, he was talking about the Jeremy Jacquet stuff as well earlier in January, but he also pointed out that Liverpool are looking to sign 2, if not 3, center backs this summer. Could this be another big summer for us? That's a big. I'm being honest. Could this be another big acquisition summer? But also not only be a big acquisition summer, but have it be a summer where we see some some of our beloved players, some players that we do, really feel are the essence or are quality players for Liverpool, be shipped out to make up the difference in PSR. That's still to you, JK.
Can you
Or
repeat that?
maybe
Can you repeat that last part, bro? I couldn't
repeat
hear
the
you properly.
question. Okay, I'll repeat it and tell us. And I will say this to the 112 people that are listening to us on Twitter. If you put in your comments, there's a little section that you can include yourself in the chat. Now I understand you're not including, you won't see what's going on with YouTube. You'd have to come on over to YouTube to see it. But you can honestly put your comments in, and I'll be sure to include them in the conversation so that we can have a merger of YouTube and X properly merge, so we can get the conversation really popping and percolating here. My question was, do you believe this is going to be another big summer for Liverpool? And do you think that it will have consequences in the fact that we will find some departures that we might not be comfortable in seeing go?
Like, I see this summer as a GTU, general tidy up summer. The World Cup will be happening. So I can see maybe 2 or 3 people leaving. Maybe an Endo, maybe a Gomez, maybe even a Robertson. So big sort of names, a lot of experience, players who could probably stay another season. Gomez, for me, is just his injuries lets him down. If he stayed fit, bro, he could stay for another 4 or 5 years, no problem.
Right.
But I don't really want this summer to be so mad, because look how long it took us to find to get these new signings to find their feet. Ekatike hit the ground running, but Wirtz only sort of found his feet recently. Kirkez as well. Frimpong, as I've said, I've gone through the list before. So this summer, for me, a DM. I know Norman will be happy I said that. DM is an ultimate for me. A DM next to Gravenberch as the pivot, great. And then you've got a centre back. So we've sorted one centre back out.
Okay.
Maybe another one, because we don't know what Kanate is going to do as well. So, because he's going on a free as well, isn't he? So Kanate and Robertson on a free in the summer. So we've got to understand that one.
Big up, Mark. Big up, Mark. There's only one I can remember. Oh, that's something else. Gertruda in the summer as well. That could be that. I don't know. That could be. It could be a case. I'm hoping that this summer, not to cut you off, sorry, JK. I'm hoping that this summer brings us, obviously it's going to bring us JJ, which will be great, but which is another young, up and coming center half, and it'll be a welcome addition to Leone, who I think I think there's a lot of promise in Leone. I think he's a promising talent, and I'm hoping that he can really come fully back from this injury, which I believe he will, and really be able to move on with his career with us. But having those 2 young players will be fantastic. But also, I would like to see us provide some real veteran presence, some real star power when it comes to the center half role. And that's why I would like to see us go for a player like a Schlotterbeck, or I know some people don't like Van de Ven. I get that. But I would like to see us go for Bastoni and Schlotterbeck and bring them as players that could possibly, again, eventually be the upper statesman when it comes to our club, and eventually, hopefully, Leone and JJ will be able to progress to a level where they will become the upper statesman for our club eventually as well. So. You did speak on DM as well. There is a report and I know this is I know that people are expecting me to say Adam Morton, okay, but I am not going to say that name just at this moment. He is a player I know that is in the circles, but I was going to say there is a report that we are making a concerted effort in trying to sign Eduardo Camavinga from Real Madrid. Now, I know some people are probably going to, try to put water on that and, and douse those flames, but would you be interested in Camavinga being a red? And B, if he was to become a red, if it meant that we weren't able to go for 3 center backs, but we're only able to go for 2 because we're going to go for a DM, is that a sacrifice you'd be willing to make just to secure a player like a Camavinga coming into the team? I'll ask that first of JK since he mentioned DM, and then I'll ask that same question to Nalante.
Like when you look at this season, if we had a solid DM, I think we'd be sitting top.
Okay.
We've looked. I'll go back to that Casado goal for Chelsea Liverpool game. He could have prepared a 3-course dinner in the space he had in the middle of the park. He ran straight through us in the middle. I stopped him, and we've done that a few times earlier on in the season. Where even Semenyo, that game against Bournemouth where we won 4-2, he did the same thing. So a DM for me, when you look at Fabinho, when he came into the team, cemented. He helped Virgil, he helped Konate, or Gomez, and it protects them as well. The reason why Virgil has looked a bit rockier this season is why? Because Gravenberch went missing a few times this season compared to last season. Last season, Gravenberch, best midfielder in the Premier League last season. This season, he went missing because why? He wanted to advance his game a bit. Like what he did yesterday in the Newcastle game. What did he do, bro? Got the ball, little turn, advanced with the ball, and advanced pretty quick with it and good with it. So, but I love to have him with a DM next to him, solid. Like, I like McAllister, don't get me wrong, but I think McAllister needed rest this season after that groin operation. So a solid like DM next to Gravenberch now, tomorrow, in the game against City, imagine. Give me a DM like... That's the thing about DMs. Who's out there, really? Believer, they won about 80, 90 million, because I remember when United were going to buy him, they were quoting big numbers. So that's the thing with the DM. And does Arnie Slot really like a DM? He don't look like he does. You know, he would have been adamant by now, being in his second season at Liverpool, if he was going to play with the DM. And it looks like he didn't want to do that.
Okay. All right. How about for you, Latte? What's your opinion on the subject?
In terms of the DM situation, in terms of what we made, yeah, maybe. I'm just not sure because we just linked with this and that and the third. I like Edison. I think Edison would be, we linked with him before, be a good shout to get him. But the Walton, as long as we do, it's just a shame. This summer's going to be too many ins and outs again because we don't know the manager's position. Players out of contract 1 year, coming or going, and then replacing them again. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of ins and outs. So it's very hard. I mean, we know what we kind of need, I guess, but because right now, whatever happens next season, I'm looking for us to go for the title, and whether it's Slot, Alonso, or the lady upstairs, you know what I mean. We need to be going for that title targeting. So it's just a case of we just wait and see what squad we assemble with. Really, that's all really, because the summer there's a lot of question marks in the air. And I think last year, the start of last one, we didn't think it would be like this, but here we are now.
Like I can't remember whose show it was. They were talking about Elise and this and that, like for next season. I was thinking, right now he's a Bayern Munich player, and I doubt it if they'll let him go.
Exactly. He ain't gonna
He's
go.
doing pretty well over there. And I was like, where
Yeah.
the fuck do these people get their information from? There's not a chance in hell that he's not going to come to Liverpool this summer. I can't see that.
Yeah.
So think about what you got right now. We've got big games coming up. We've got Man City next weekend. So who we got in the squad ready to play now? Forget next season, man. I don't understand next season. Who cares about next season? I'm thinking about this season.
Yeah. There's a possibility, JK. That's the sad thing, that JJ could come into a team in the Europa League. There's a strong possibility.
That he will take that. Like, look, bro, I know what you
Oh,
mean, but
he'll take it, but
he'll take
it's
it, of
not good.
course, because we're Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
But the only reason why we won't get Europe next season,
Oh, you don't
if
think
we don't
we'll
wrap
get
up
Europe?
games,
No?
huh?
You
Say again,
don't
bro?
think we'll get Europe? No?
No, I would definitely get Champions League football next season, bro. I don't even think about that. We're Liverpool, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure, JK, man, to be fair. I'm not sure.
I know what you mean, because when I see
Yeah.
United and Chelsea just like overtaking us in the last few weeks, that's why that Bournemouth result for me really hurt. It stopped our run unbeaten, even though we didn't really win a lot of games in that unbeaten run.
Yeah.
We just didn't need that result, bro. Even a point there, just a point, already been all right. We were undefeated still. Then we had the Champions League games, and we had the game just yesterday. Yesterday's display for me was the first display I've seen from Arne Slot where it was a bit exciting and it was a little bit Klopp-like. We showed a bit more gas, you know what I mean? And that's what football is. I think, does he try to protect the players to save their energy? What are you saving their energy for, bro? The game's 90 minutes. If you're saving your energy for 80 minutes, what are you going to do in 10 minutes plus injury time? Nothing.
Yeah.
So maybe he's realised that now, his controlled sort of controlling the game in which gears he wants to play football. Liverpool don't suit first, second gear football, bro. You only do that when you're 4-5-0 up. If you wanna, you know what I mean? But if you're 4-5-0 up, you're thinking, I'm gonna make my goal difference better. We could probably get 6-7 here. That's how I see football. You know what I mean? He don't see it like that, Arne Slot. Look, yesterday it was 3-1, and I've heard some people saying he was telling them to slow down. Why?
Yeah.
Because I've watched every Liverpool game this season twice over, whatever, and I realised over the last 2-3 months or whatever, in the last 10 minutes, actually, I would say the last 8 minutes of normal time plus the 5 minutes you get an injury, it's all the opposition. It happened in the Bournemouth game. What happened? Gravenberch kicked the ball out. They got a throw in. It was all them. They got the winner. Why did that happen? Because we slow down the game, and what happens? Opposition pinch it off us and take advantage. When we keep that Liverpool pace of football, no one can handle us. No one can handle us. Look what happened yesterday. We put our foot down. Ekatike 2 goals in 3 minutes or whatever. Then we got another 2 goals. So sometimes you got to put your foot down, Arnie.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. There is still talks about maybe us bringing in Keith Smith, right? Or even, like I said, a Camavinga. I was just wondering if like, would you be willing to make the sacrifice for is your concerns basically so much? And Keith Smith isn't the DM, by the way, but why I'm offering that out, or why I'm offering that question out, is would you be willing to make a sacrifice for a DM? Is your commitment to seeing a DM be brought to this club so important that you'd be willing to possibly forego bringing in a third center half as opposed to just maybe 2 center halves for the summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at Rodri, Look at Rodri, bro, before he got injured. He, for me, is the best DM in the world. And he is the reason why City have been successful. Without him, they wouldn't have won all them league titles, my opinion. As soon as he got injured, he hasn't been the same. I watched him today. He weren't the same, bro. he should have got sent off, as I've said before. So a DM on top of his game is only going to do good for your team. That's how I look at football.
Okay. Okay. Are you the same way, Delonte, real quick, just before we even move on to another question? And again, if you have questions in the chat or whether you're on X or whether you're on YouTube, definitely include your points. I have a question ready for the panel as soon as Nalante gives an answer to this.
Yeah, same as JK. Same as JK.
Okay. I don't think that was Nalante, but okay.
Right.
It didn't sound like Nalante there. Yeah. But okay.
Like
all right.
Film.
Yeah, I don't know. That was an op or something. That was wild. All right. Hi, Laura's asking a question, and he's asking, so what about those late subs? And I think he's referencing to the fact that in our latest game, our coach decided to make substitutions in a game that we actually were up 3-1 at the 67th minute. And he waited till the 84th minute to begin substituting players in for our team. I agree that the choice of late subs was not a commendable action. I think we should have gotten subs in earlier, considering that we are razor thin when it comes to our substitutions. And I think that it was a game that by that point, once we had gone up 3-1, we were controlling that game for the most part pretty handedly. I'm not saying that it means bring in youth academy players or the likes, but I am saying bringing in a player like a Chiesa, or bringing in an Endo for Gravenberg, for instance, would have been the move, I think, personally, for me, if we had gone about bringing in players. However, our coach decided to only substitute offensive weapons rather than substitute some of the players that have played pretty much consistently nonstop for us this season. Gravenberg's total of game minutes is concerning to me. And I'm not going with saying I wish no harm on any of our players, of course, but I do have concerns about the overusage of players, whether it's Dami Sabasali, whether it's Gravenberg, or this coach has talked about work, or has talked about, as he called it, workload or a load management is what he referenced it as. And you would think that Hugo Ekitike, Mohamed Salah, and Florian Wirtz all subbed out in the 84th, all subbed out in the 84th and 87th minute. Subbing a player out with 6 minutes left or 7 or 3 minutes left in regulation time isn't necessarily you trying to work on load management. How do you feel about the substitutions? Or his nonchalant manner of substitutions?
Like at the end of the day, honestly, I can't really win or lose, because of a while back, everyone was shouting at him, "You're making too many subs. The team's playing okay, and you make subs early on, 65 minutes, 70 minutes, whatever it is."
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy he's actually keeping the same players on the pitch who are doing the job well. We ain't done that ever with Arnie Slot. He's always chopped and changed, and we had 4 right backs in one game. You know what I mean? Too much of that bullshit going on. So to see the same sort of team staying on the pitch, it's actually about time we did that, if you know what I mean. The reason why we haven't been great this season, chopping and changing the team all the way, because it's a lot of new players. So he needs to find these guys the right way to play them and who to play. Everyone thinks he's going to say, "Okay, you lot are all starting, go and win the match." It's a bit more difficult than that sometimes, you know what I mean? So I think slowly now he's sort of realizing now that, okay, this player is this player is that. Hence why I don't mind him not making subs sometimes. Keep the same players or winning the game, keep them on the pitch. It gives the players a bit of energy. Because the longer the game's on, you're thinking, fuck this, I don't want the opposition to win this. I'm going to run an extra 10 minutes, no problem. And that's football, bro. You got to keep the same players picking up. Like last season, he used to keep the same players, picking the same players every game. Not chopping and changing, really. And what happened? He won the league with it. This season, different kettle of fish. He had to chop and change because of all the new signings. But now, slowly, he's sort of keeping the same team on. Hence, that's why I don't mind him sometimes not making subs and upsetting the rhythm, because you have games like that where you make 2 or 3 subs. What happens? Opposition starts scoring goals. It can happen. But yeah, sometimes common sense subs, like a Salah didn't need to really stay on until late yesterday. For example, Chiesa could have come on much earlier than that for him. Salah loves playing football, bro. I think Salah don't want to ever leave the pitch if he could.
Yeah. Big up Sheba, by the way. We've been definitely been talking at length about it. Certainly, it is a Bamba for sure. Malante, are you with us? Do you want to have a conversation about the substitution pattern from yesterday's game?
Yeah, give me a couple minutes. Give me a couple minutes.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I thought that I saw Petersboro owner really go off the hinges about our substitution pattern. Not even in this game, but the game previously to this. And he spoke about how we should be substituting more readily with if the coach is so worried about load management, we should do a little bit better, proper job at keeping our players fit with the load management. Because I know Arnie did make a point about saying that he recognized that as being maybe one of the factors in the injury that Frimpong is sustained recently. And it was interesting to hear him put it in those terms.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, bro, load management, every club has to deal with it. Man United, not this season because they're not in Europe. Hence, playing in Europe is a big sort of burden on the teams involved in it, especially Champions League games. Midweek, traveling there and back, training there, sleep patterns, whatever. So it does have an effect on players. But I think sometimes Arne Slot don't need to state the obvious. We all know that the workload of a football player playing for Liverpool is going to be 4 trophies. You can win them all. So come on. So you don't need to state the obvious, Arne Slot. You know, like he was on about the wind the other week. The wind. Bournemouth had the wind as well. You know, it ain't just like
they had to play through it as well.
Like when Liverpool get the ball, God presses the button that the wind's stronger when Liverpool got the ball. You know, come on. So you don't need to make these. You don't really need to say these things, Arne Slot.
Yeah,
I'll do his press conferences for him, no problem.
I was gonna say, in the game against Newcastle, there were plenty of feel good moments, I think, in the game. From whether it was just seeing some players get minutes on the pitch, or maybe it was seeing Ibu score, or maybe it was the brace by Ekitike, or the goal by Wirtz, or even some of the saves that Ali made. But I will say that it was a special moment when knowing that Gordon, who is a former blue nose, as they put it, right? Being that he's a former Everton player. And now now he taps the Newcastle badge as his own. To see him do a big celebration against us after he scored against us, and then have his club humbled the way that they did, and then eventually even see, his coach do something on the lines of take him off the pitch and not let him see out the 90. proper banter. I think that
is he trying to prove something? Like,
no idea.
I know he supports Liverpool when he was a kid and stuff, and he definitely wants to play for Liverpool. You can see that, but injuring all our players every game, every time you play us, it ain't gonna get you a ticket to Liverpool anytime soon. So
you would think.
Virgil last time, remember the Virgil one? That was nasty as well.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It really was.
Look, I like Gordon. I think he's a quality player. I think he's good. Yeah, I think him leaving Liverpool to go to Everton probably hurt his feelings, bro. Yeah, he still definitely wants to play for us.
Yeah. I was just gonna type. Big up, Sheba, no doubt. We always include any contribution that you can give to the channel through, conversing with your comments and the likes, engaging with the talk that we're bringing to the channel. Always a big up to each and every one of you. Again, whether you are on X or even on YouTube, we appreciate each and every last one of you.
My feel good moment yesterday was the Kanate, obviously. Like, bro, the guy was crying. I've never seen it in my life where a player scores and he cries. Never seen it. So that was nice to see. Delante's on
Delante's working something out with his mic right there. All right. Let me just I don't think he knows that his mic is hot. But yeah, I thought it was it could happen to no other nicer. It could happen. The moment could be no. Excuse me. No better for a player that deserves that type of reaction, I guess you could say. I cannot stand Gordon. But we are it is absolutely. I will I'm just I was flipping through X just to see what's being spoken on, and I'm going to keep it absolutely 100. There is nothing but pretty much when it comes to conversation about Liverpool, it is all about JJ coming to Liverpool.
Do we have to call him that, bro?
JJ?
Yeah, he sounds like he's on some program like Temptation Island or Love Island or whatever.
I don't know. I don't want to. once we get him to give a proper pronunciation for his name, I'll make sure that I'll say his name completely. But
JJ from Good Times.
Yeah, JJ from Good Times is right.
Yeah.
He's tall like JJ from Good Times.
Yeah, tall boy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, even Smokey likes JJ.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could. I don't know if I can. I don't think I get in trouble for this. It's a meme, but you should see the absolute. What was your reflections of the weekend now that it's come to an end? There's only one more game left on the docket for tomorrow, but it's Sunderland, I believe, versus Burnley, I believe, is the game I want to say.
Yeah, Burnley, Sunderland. Yeah.
So it's not exactly,
No, really, nothing game.
yeah, it's not exactly must see TV. So what was it about the weekend that really stuck with you? What were some of the highlights that you wanted to talk about from the weekend? Or are there any?
That's not really in our point of view. United won, Chelsea won, West Ham bottled it 2-0 up. They bottled it. Fulham again, United's like that. That's like a kick in the teeth. Villa dropped some points today, obviously unexpectedly, and Brentford had 10 men for large parts.
Mm-hmm.
But Villa will be dragged back into the race. So really, not much. Arsenal beat Leeds. Leeds were awful, to be honest. They couldn't handle the corners. There's not really much. And then obviously the City Tottenham game I watched was a good game. City should have been buried. They should have been down 2-0. They control. They just let a little bit like us when we played Tottenham to a lesser extent. When Tottenham came back and Solanke scored a very goal. Do you remember? I don't know if you guys back in the chat. Do you remember the Giroud goal, the back heel, the flick
Yeah, he did the same.
against Crystal Palace? Yeah. That's Solanke's second goal. And City look vulnerable. I mean, they got Gay there, Semenyo, who every time I look at Semenyo, it hurts my heart. But and Gay as well. But they look vulnerable. City, they're there to be got at, and we've got them next, haven't we?
Yeah.
They're there to be got. They really are. Yeah, they are there to be got at. Now, if
That's what I think.
if we can turn the performance, not ideal because that gives Arsenal hope, then we should win. But again, this is the problem. I just don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up next week. And although we were, like JK said, we were the best game for a long while, but it just doesn't do anything for me to win because we've been so poor. And yes, obviously glad we won, but all the other teams won. So it's just back. So what we really need to do, we need to start going in a winning run. But we've got some difficult games. We need to go in a 4 or 5 game winning run.
Yeah.
We're capable of it, but will we do it? That's the thing. And then the injury. So yes, it's fascinating, but I think for what I saw, and again, what I've been seeing is the team is molding into a Hugo Wirtz team for me. And and again, no knock on Mo, but Mo was poor yesterday. I mean, poor. He's just average. Him and Cody, they've just the form's dipped. So my question is to you, JK and 12th, and to you, chat. Listen up. Got a good question for you guys. Listen up, guys. Guys. Yeah?
Let's
In
hear
the
it.
word of the code man. My 2-part question is this. First of all, is this the time where will you consider because Hugo first question, where does Isak fit in this team next season when he's fit, fully fit, due to Hugo and Wirtz's combination? Number 2, due to what we've seen, is this would you sell Mo to sacrifice for whoever that winger is? Is it the time we say, you know what, Mo, next season we want you to be a squad rotation player. Otherwise, if you don't accept that, we'll buy someone else. That's my 2-part question.
Do you want to answer first, JK? Go ahead. You can answer first, JK. Go ahead. Maybe not. I'll answer then. Okay, JK. Go ahead, JK. Go ahead.
Okay. Look, Salah, since he's come back from the African Cup of Nations, he's got a couple of assists, goal. So I don't mind Salah as a player. I just feel sometimes, like yesterday, you know what was like another good feel moment of the game where he set up Wirtz. You could have thought, you know what, I'm going to shoot, but he didn't. And that sort of sealed the game for me, that 3-1. It was 2-1. Anything can happen, bang. So I like that. He did that, where he just set the ball up for Wirtz, bang, he scored. 3-1, job done. I respect the player, but football is a team game with individuals in that team. Gapco yesterday, look, when you look at Gapco's game now, he sort of changed it as well. He's not cutting in. He's actually trying to get to the bar line, take man's on, cut it back. The shit, that stuff that a winger should be doing.
I just want to make sure to repeat your question one more time so I can make sure I answer all the points.
Yeah, I was just saying because the team is more molded 12th into Hugo Wirtz team, they're taking the scruff of the net the team. Where does Isak fit in you for next season? And number two, like again, opinionated, like Mo, obviously he's come back. You know, he's just not the obviously I understand he's older, he's not the same Mo like yesterday for me at the pool game. Would you, for example, number one, either tell Mo, look, we appreciate everything you've done, but you're going to be squad rotation with whoever that new signing is. Or number two, if he says, you know what, no, like it's either you start me or else would you potentially sell Mo to get whoever that right winger the replacement is? So you're factoring everything regarding Mo and his form.
So I do have a different perspective on what Liverpool should do with their future, with the future of our front line. Personally, I think that we should go to a 4-4-2. I've been saying that I think we have possibly two of the most dynamic and very versatile forwards in the league. I don't think having one sit on the bench so that the other can play is necessarily going to provide us the amount of comfort or of excitement or the likes. I think personally, I would like to see the two on the pitch together. When they've been on the pitch together for a limited time, I understand, but when they have been on the pitch together, they have created moments. And excuse me. And what I would like to see is two forwards and verts in the sense of making the ultimate upside down pyramid, or triumvirate is what I'm calling it. And I'm also seeing it as, if we were to go to a 4-4-2, this is something I mentioned on another show a while back, and that is, if we were to go to 4-4-2, it would make the next painful step of eventually having to move on from Mohamed Salah that much more of an easier step to take on, simply because if we play a 4-4-2, Mohamed Salah, other than maybe being a possibly a backup to one of the two strikers I just mentioned, Salah most likely would not be in that formation. So at the moment with Isak hurt, yes, we can utilize Salah in that position for us. But going forward, I wouldn't see him being the solution provider for that position. I would see it as Isak would rightfully be in that role, and thus you would not have a striker position or striker role on this team. So, or excuse me, a winger role for this team. So by doing so, you'll have to make the progression away from Salah, and it could be also meaning that you make a progressive step away from even Cody Gakpo on the other side, a player I rate and do like. But if we are to have this self-sustaining market, or self-sustaining structure of a team, we are going to have to make some tough decisions. So if it means selling a Cody Gakpo while his stock is very, very high, or selling a Mohamed Salah, and I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about next summer, obviously, for Salah, and maybe even the summer prior or after that for Cody. But making that natural step and maybe bringing in a more versatile and more formidable striker that we'll have to have in the role of playing up front for us. And that's why personally I would love to see us go for like a Julian Alvarez or something like that. But I don't think that's going to happen. That's just me, really, really dreaming, if you want to put it that way. But I'm just saying, if we were to sell a Mohamed Salah at this moment in time, not January, talking about summer, if we were to sell a Mohamed Salah, he could get the proper send off. He could also be able to be allowed to also we could possibly get the maximum value in return from Mohamed Salah. And for Cody Gakpo, it's the same thing. If we were to move on from Cody Gakpo because we're transitioning to a new formation, then we could get obviously the maximum value for Cody Gakpo now. And there are suitors out there. We all know that Bayern Munich was interested in him. There are other teams that are interested in his services and would pay top dollar. So if we can get 70 million or something along those lines, 70, 80 million for Cody Gakpo, I'm all in for it. If we can get 190, 100 million from maybe Saudi Arabia or something like that for Mohamed Salah, I'm all in, because that's now 180 million to 200 million pounds that you could utilize to bring in some very, very formidable pieces to move forward with our future. So that is my take, at least. Shout out to we are very close to hitting the 200 mark right here. So definitely we're at 190 people in the chat. Appreciate every last one of you. If you are on X, please do hit that like, or hit the like and subscribe button by coming over to YouTube to do so, obviously. But if not, I still appreciate the fact that you are showing support by what you're doing on X. If you're watching us on YouTube, I appreciate the support and the likes on YouTube as well. So big up, big up. We are certainly closing in. I wasn't even going to go over. I was only going to do an hour show today, but because we have such a large audience, I figured I'd keep the momentum rolling and get things going on here. So big up Lee, by the way. Big up Lee WizKid. I see you on X there right now. I see you, Lee.
WizKid, always.
Is there you know what? Speaking of Salah, though, Salah has put together an absolute amazing career for us. And yesterday, he got his 10th goal. He has now has 10 goals, 10 assists against Newcastle. It is officially, I think, the most that he has against one team. And the assist went to Florian Wirtz. Now, there are some that have been saying that there has been a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of like jealousy running between Mohamed Salah and Florian Wirtz, and how he's getting the accolades and getting looked at as being the heir apparent to his throne here at Liverpool. Do you simplify it that easy, or do you say that there is plenty of seats at the table for Mohamed Salah to be, to get his fill, and for Wirtz to do the same? Or is it maybe the competition between the two healthy? I'll ask that of first. I'll ask that of our Red that calls Germany home, because I know he's heard plenty of different versions of that story in Germany. What are your thoughts? Because we spoke on it earlier on Quasi show. I'd like to rehash it a little bit here.
I'll say it like this, bro. When it's 0-0 in the Champions League final, and Salah's like, you know what, I'm leaving this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And Wirtz smashes it in and gets the win at 1-0. Salah's taking another Champions League home with him. Is he going to be pissed off with that? No, he ain't. So
I would hope not.
For me, football is a game where if you are playing for a club, you got to do it together. Competition is great. I've seen it with Sabotsalai. He's transformed his career with us. He's seen words coming in, other signings, and it sort of revamped him. So competition is pretty sound, but I just feel a lot of media stuff like, oh, his words, it's a lot pissed off about because words has come in. Come on, man, they're playing for the same team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, of course. But when you look at the videos of the training videos, everyone seems to be getting on with each other. You know, I know a lot of stuff can happen behind the scenes, but nah, I don't see that. I just feel if Salah wins the Champions League again, because Wirtz scores the winner, or the other way around, Salah scores the winner, they don't really care, bro. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. I'd ask you the same, Nalante. Is there plenty of room at the table for all to sit down?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a team game. It's funny enough. Watch in BBC for the UK for yourself. BBC does an interview of Wirtz from Football Focus. It goes about his family bringing up. You know, he's one of 9, which is crazy. Which is
Yeah, it's mad,
football
isn't it, bro?
assistant. Yeah, mad, innit? Yeah, you heard it. And then he mentioned about, being some unbelievable VVD and Mo contact him. So, like
Yeah.
Jake said, all this nonsense about, Mo don't
Yeah.
like words, etc. It's a load of crap. It's a load
It's a
of
lot of
crap.
crap. Simple.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He knows how good, or as he wouldn't, he said, like Word said, Mo text me, just to say, oh, you know what, you should come. If you did, they're
Yeah.
our main talisman. So that's not a person who doesn't like it.
And
But
that
yeah,
came from Wirtz's mouth. I've seen that.
yeah,
He said that
yeah,
himself.
exactly. Yeah, he said that. So I think it's a lot. I think people like to do a lot of put 1-on-1 and get 3 instead of 2 with some of these
Simple.
scenarios, So yeah, they can still look, yeah, Mo's still not 100%. He's not been informed, but it's there to be got out. There was a couple of times, Wirtz tried to send him out. Mo just missed it. And, he appreciated the ball, because Wirtz is a quality player and we'll see him making world class. So there's room to eat. And the question is, are we still going to eat at the end of the season? That as a team, that's my thing. So yeah,
That's the bigger picture. But for
yeah.
me, seeing the last setup work yesterday made me happy. If Salah's playing, and if you can offer up a goal or an assist, I'm cool with that. Who else is going to play on the right wing? Let's be serious now. Slot's not going to play Chiesa. So who else are you going to play there? He's tried Frimpong. Did okay. Sort of got into it. He's injured now. So there's a lot of few players who have injured. Maybe in this week's shows we can talk about the injuries, what sort of state they're in, how long they got left. So we've got Frimpong. Is Gomez okay?
Gomez will be apparently available for our Manchester City game.
Okay, so that's another one back. So
right. So hopefully he could be fit enough that we don't have to be forced to play Damis Szoboszlai as our right back. Not saying that Damis Szoboszlai did a poor job, by the way.
I reckon he was down yesterday, Szoboszlai. Yeah, he was down.
Right. Yeah,
I think he's yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think he's reached that rhythm, that routine rhythm he's got now. Every game he's going to play at that level of good. You get players who play great for 3, and they go missing for 3, and then they come back play great for 5, and they go missing for 2. I think Szoboszlai's found that rhythm now, where in every game he's good now. A definite 7, 8 out of 10. So that's good to see. I think McAllister's taken time, because that groin operation he had is more of a mental thing, because I think the way he plays football, he gets stuck in. And when you get injured in a certain area, you can play with your mind as well. He's like, oh, it's the World Cup in the summer. Do I want to get stuck in now and then ruin any chance of me playing in that World Cup? So the last 2 months or whatever he's been fit, it's taken him that time to sort of get it back into the rhythm of playing football with his mind as well, because of that injury on that operation.
I'm gonna ask a a bigger question, or no, not a bigger question, but a question that deals with the league in general, and that is Jamie Carragher gave a comment on Sky Sports saying that Aston Villa are looking over their shoulder, meaning that he believes that Villa are possibly looking at teams that could surmount or surpass them in the table. Do you think it's a done deal that the top three are cemented in being the top three in this league, or do you think that there's actual movement that we could see with the top three at least? I'm not even talking about contending for Arsenal. I'm just meaning the top three at least.
Well, United are 5 points behind Villa. Yeah,
they are currently, yes.
Yeah, so we're 7. Can't believe that United are ahead of us. That just makes me mad. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Embarrassing,
man.
Isn't it?
What if I was Slot? I'm printing that league table up before every game. Put it on the board. Say, look at that. United and Chelsea are above us. Come on. And they sacked their manager a few weeks ago. So that's how bad they've been. But still, they're above us. Come on, man. So we've been pretty bad this season. Then when you look at it,
Spartans, remember who you are, Spartans.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
2006.
That is so true. That is.
Sparta! Bless up, Abdul.
There you go. There you go.
Bless up. Big up, Abdul. Big up always, isn't it? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
not there, yeah.
You guys lost my hearing there.
Hearing, yeah.
Yep.
1, 2, Snoop Doggy Dog. Looking at your front door.
There you go. Sometimes when I do that, for some reason, it takes out my my headphones for some reason.
Oh, man. You can play down FSG. You know, you're American based, so maybe they got the spies out.
Let's not go there. We're trying to get to 200, not lose the numbers here. So, but big up. I was just wondering if people think in the chat whether you're whether you're on X or whether you are on YouTube. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think that there's an actual opportunity that we could make top 3? And if we were to make, you know how people have called this the worst title defense in the history of Premier League? I don't think it is, by the way. But and I'm not saying this because I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm saying it because there's still a lot of season left to go, and there's no guarantee that we're going to end up in the current spot that we're in, which is 6th place. You know, we are only 1 point off of 1 point off of Chelsea and 2 points off of Manchester United in 4th place. So there is a lot left to be done with that as well. And I think I know we still have to play. We still have to play Chelsea and Manchester United at both at Anfield. Or no, not both at Anfield. Chelsea at Anfield, Manchester United at Old
Toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's still an opportunity for us to get into that top 4.
No, Fulham could have holded it today. West Ham could have holded it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we deserve that.
Villa, you're right. Villa's the second to last game of the season for us.
That could be a big game. Yeah.
It could be a big game for both teams, actually, depending.
Well, Villa at home in the last 2 games have lost. So,
which is surprising, too, by the way. Villa is normally a very difficult place to play, but they lost against.
I like playing at Villa Park.
You've been there before, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not so far. And I like playing Villa. I don't know. Games at Villa Park, we always seem to wear the white kits, and we do pretty well there.
Yeah.
We've already beat Villa this season 3-0, so.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on Brian's channel, but all the same, okay. He says it's getting shouty, getting loud over there.
Getting shouty.
It's okay. It's okay. It's he's one of our
Man's a
loud.
passionate, isn't it?
His house can get a little loud, but it's okay. It's this what happens when it's what happens sometimes with your neighbors. They're still your neighbors. Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's any comments in the chat that wanted to get addressed. Nope.
How did Lee Wiskett send his message from Twitter then to YouTube?
It's not. No, I can see both channels or both platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on X and he's on YouTube. I can see both. But how I know he's on Twitter or X is because there's a X symbol under his name, and then the YouTube logo is under his name for his YouTube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But shout out to everyone that's joining us. Like I said, we're only five people away from 200, which would be fantastic, by the way. Be fantastic to see us.
And if there's some of them from X can come over to the YouTube, subscribe there and press like, that'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. That'd be definitely fantastic. Get us one step closer to 1,000 would be fantastic. You can join us on either platform, obviously, but that way, whatever platform is easiest for you, that way you can join the conversation. You can join the conversation. So just seeing some other things. I wanted to be able to show. I really wanted to be able to show the West Ham Adama reaction today, but I don't know if I can. That might get me in trouble if I do.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you guys saw that or not. But he threw Cucurella like he was a rag doll. I literally
Cucurella's that type of player that can easily happen to. He's that type of player. He's just annoying. Yeah. No, I think
he can get under your
he
skin.
did everyone a favor there to Rory.
Yeah, he could definitely get under your skin. I did speak on this earlier, but I don't think Milante was involved with that conversation. So I'll ask him this real quick. Damis Vasilai on his contract negotiations said this: nothing yet, to be honest. From now on, it is not in my hands. It works this way. There is no progression, but if the right offer comes, then let's see. I am doing my job on the pitch. We will see in the future. It is always there and back and there. It is always there and back and there. I don't know what that means, but okay. Let's see what happens. Hopefully everyone will be happy at the end. Do I like it here? Of course. I like the city. I like the club. I like playing with these guys. I love Anfield. I love the fans. Let's see what the future holds. It is not on me. I would love to stay. We will see. Do you think that Damis Vasilai should be the top priority going in, getting as for extensions? Do you think that Damis Vasilai should be the top priority?
Yeah,
keeping in mind that we do still are working on a Kanate deal possibly, or Rabo is now in that hiatus of is he gonna stay or is he gonna go?
Yeah, like for me, Sabatalai's interview there, I don't really like it. Like for me, the club should have a relationship with the players where they've talked to him and they say to him, look, we'll get it sorted very soon and we're looking at this figure for wages or whatever, and they've got it like base value with the player. Yep, it's going to get done. So then Sabatalai don't really need to say nothing. He can just say, yeah, we'll get that wrapped up soon. Nothing else. You don't need to say anything else. I love it here. I love it. I don't really need him to say that, if you know what I mean. But then again, like if he's saying it, he must mean it then. Because if Madrid come knocking, would he want to go there? That's the question. I've always had a funny feeling he'd want to play for Madrid. I don't know why. I think he loved Ronaldo when he was there. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How about for you, Nalate?
Yeah, Subbo, man. Look, he's been one of our better players this season. The last month, bit his form has gone down, but he picked up a little bit again the other day. Sorry, excuse me. He done decent right back against Newcastle. He done a decent enough job. Oh, sorry. But I think what he needs to be mindful of what he says in the press, because certain things could
Yeah.
be taken a certain way. You know, I don't like JK said, I don't like that. Yes, we do, but you've been a little bit poor as well. And I just hope Slot. And again, I was arguing with this with Brian on Discord, shout him out. But the whole Ramsey versus Sobbo. If Ramsey and Sobbo, if they're the only two available to do the right back, if Joey, of course, Rincon Bradley ended for me, you play Ramsey and chat. You can ask me, chat. You can say, what chat? Am I going mad? You just play Ramsey. He's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. He is an actual right back. Forget about the levels. He's a better right back than Soboslai.
Yep.
Why? There's not a better player. Why? Because he has a right back. And Sobel can do a job, but he's going to be more exposed than not. You know. So, but back to the Dominic Soboslai. I think when does his contract run out?
20, not this year, but next year.
Oh, 2027?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I think you just keep on, because I know Liverpool will have that a priority. So I just think by the end of the season, I think they'll sort out their contract. So I just rather just play your way, keep your worth. And again, I know players can talk. There's some like Mo, like I didn't like the way Mo was talking, like, oh, it's not up to me. I love this club. The mind games, the political games. And I hate that. Clubs are not stupid. There might be, there's a lot going on. So if you playing well, if you're well worth your worth, of course they're going to reward you.
Yeah, of course.
They're going to reward you, and then you walk with life. So sometimes these players need to just kind of humble themselves, because at the end of the day, I don't want to sound cliche and boring. There's doctors, there's nurses, policemen, people out there that are doing a whole lot more than they and again, less money. So I think sometimes in my day, I know they've come from hardship, some of the players, of course, different countries, but they just need to appreciate that and just keep it quiet. The club will reward them. We're not silly. The board, as much as we criticize them, not stupid. They see what's going on, and I'm sure by the summertime, Sobel will be rewarded, and they can send the agreement to a new contract, and then happy days. That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah. I wanted to let me see if I can. I'm gonna try to share this quick statistic or stat with you guys in a second. Let me just pull this up here. There was a stat. Let me show you this statistic here, and it's an interesting one. At least I think it's an interesting one. Share this tab. This was a comparison. Now I know some. But that's considering that's including that's not all of his games with Real Madrid, and that's not all of obviously Dominic Szoboszlai's games. It includes all of his games in general and all of Bellingham's games in general throughout his career. But if you really look at it, Dominic Szoboszlai's been putting some work. It's very interesting.
It's a
So
goal
his
or an
all-time
assist.
stats, and it shows that like he's been really putting some work. 104 goals, 104 assists, and 423 games.
Yeah, it's like 208 in 423 games. So that's like nearly a game. Every 2 games, he's doing something.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, he's running around like a madman.
Yeah, he is. He
You
definitely
don't
is.
stop that guy. Yeah.
He definitely is. I know. And again, like it's wild. You do see agendas out there. I know because like again, I said on X, you can do spaces, and shout out to Cian. good friend of the channel, good friend of Milante, or maybe his arch nemesis, one of the other.
Yeah, big up the crazy
Yeah.
woman. But anyway,
Yeah, bless her soul.
But that's Milante's choice of words, not mine. CN. But
he does.
but what I was saying is she does spaces, and like what was very interesting about one of the it was the pregame to Newcastle, and all I heard on the space was about how Damis Sabaslai is apparently does not have pace. He's not a fast player, and that he was going to get done in by the Newcastle forwards yesterday. And I thought that was pretty funny, to be honest with you, because it ended up not resulting in that case. But what's funny about it is even more funny about it, because he had 0 dribble pass, so there's no one dribbled past him yesterday, or in the Newcastle game at least. But what was funny about it to me was that like so often those that call Liverpool their own, it seems like they root for the downfall of our players. They root for our players to do poorly. I don't understand that at all. But Damas Bosley did put in a good shift at right back. I'm going to be the first to tell you, I don't want to see Damas Bosley play our right back position. Not because he can't play it, not because he's not good at playing multiple positions on the pitch, but primarily I don't want to see Damas Bosley playing our right back because I want to see him in our midfield. I think he's more of an asset to our team in the midfield. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not. If you're holding the same premise as I am.
Yeah, I think yesterday was a good game at him at right back. I don't mind him there, but for me, I'd prefer him midfield. The Ramsey debate, we had it on Quasi's show as well.
What was saying?
Like Christian was like, he's this, that, he's poor, this, like in bad words and stuff. I was like, yo, he's at Liverpool Football Club. He would never ever enter Liverpool Football Club if he couldn't play football. If that was the case, would be all there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So, and I'm thinking when he came from Scotland, Ramsey was a top player in Scotland. Then he got injured.
He won Young Player of the Year with Aberdeen. He won Young Player of the Year.
Yeah, so for playing him at right back against, I don't know, in the FA Cup and stuff like that is a no-brainer for me. It's like, I don't understand Slot's sort of mind. He's played him on the subs bench. So he's been on the subs bench quite a lot recently, if you haven't noticed. Plus the other 5 goalkeepers. So Ramsey should have got a game by now. Like, at least then fans can make a decision, say, you know what, fair play to the lad, he can stay. So, yeah.
Okay. Shout out to everyone for getting us to that mark, by the way. Big up. We're at over 200 people in the chat. So
whoa, big up.
Big
Nice
up.
one.
Well done,
Big
by the
up.
way. The applause
Big
to
up,
everyone
guys.
that helped contribute to us, getting us to that number. 201 to be exact, if you want to know the
Big
number.
up, man. Big up, everyone, man.
So big up to Lee WizKid, who was on YouTube and on X supporting us here. And to everyone
Big up, WizKid.
and to everyone on X, big up to each and every last one of you.
Bill, 2 goalkeepers on the bench. That's what we've had all most of the time recently.
I can't stand when I see that. That drives me up the wall when I see that.
I seen Harvey Elliott play today for Villa, bro. He came on and he had a good 15 minutes. And I tell you the truth, bro, he was doing what he used to do for Liverpool. Get the ball and give it to someone who's going to do more damage with it, but he'll get the ball there. You know what I mean? Always an option. And I was like, we just missed that type of guy on the bench. So,
by the way, that's appearance number 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why I say it that way is because he's 3 appearances away from them being locked in.
Ooh, what are you gonna
Thing is,
do?
I
What are you
haven't
gonna
really.
do?
Today was the first time I've seen him play, bro. I tell you the truth, for Villa.
Right.
Yeah, he played.
So he hasn't
He
really
played.
been involved. He probably
Played
played
recently
30
too.
seconds or
He just
something.
played
Yeah,
for
Europa League. Yeah,
Europa. Yeah.
the game on Thursday just gone. Yeah.
I like Harvey Elliott, top lad. I think sometimes football fans don't realise you need a subs bench, you know.
Mhm.
And as I've said before, I'd rather have one sub goalie, not two, and have
Mhm.
a Harvey Elliott, you know. So I just don't understand that mindset of us. I think the club just want to sell him and make a profit on him.
Mhm.
We picked him up for how much? 5, 7 million, something like that.
Yeah, like 10 mil. Yeah.
If that, you know. So him and Kwanzaa leaving were like the last sort of drops of Klopp, you know, because them two were Klopp's players. I think Klopp loved playing Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott was starting against Man United, Man City, everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, big games. Kwanzaa as well played big games. So, but them two were gone. Bang. Arnie Slot was like, yeah, I don't want nothing off Klopp's here no more. You know, yeah, man, it's sad in a way.
Mm.
It is, but it is what it is.
He
'Cause,
sort of ripped the soul of.
according to our coach, that's Aston Villa's player, not ours. I don't know.
Yeah. That press conference there, when I seen them answers, I was like,
I was
"Who
like,
who are you, man? How are you talking as Liverpool manager like that? You should be protecting
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott, because right now he's a Liverpool player. He's on loan at Villa, so he's still a Liverpool player. So you should be saying, look, I wish him well there. Hope he gets more game time. If not, there's always a place there for him. Bang. One, he'll come across as a nice guy, and two, we'll give Harvey Elliott some heart. Harvey Elliott did nothing wrong with. Harvey Elliott got 3 goals for him in the Champions League last season in a row. He got the winner in Paris. So
Yep.
come on, you know.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Very true. Very, very true. Very, very true. But unfortunately, yeah, he did not. He was not able. It was interesting. Villa only had 2 subs in that game too. By the way, 2 subs used in that game against a 10-man Brentford team, and 1-0 was the result of that game. So very, very interesting that they didn't make it out the way that. Obviously, that didn't result in the way that they would have liked to for it to have done.
Like
But
David Luiz played, you know. I think Anana, he's a top player.
Yeah, he's injured, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he injured? Oh, I thought he was on the
Yeah, he's
suspect.
injured. Yeah. No, he's
Oh,
got injured. Yeah, they got a few injuries. Hence, they got Douglas Luiz back, which is a good signing, loan signing. They got him back, and then obviously they got Abraham. So, yeah, because Villa, they've got the PSR. They keep chopping and changing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
yeah. Watkins
Um,
was injured. Yeah.
yeah, I there are things that are very interesting in the fact of I am a huge El Nino fan. I am a huge El Nino fan. However, I know that this might bring up some bad blood because I know some people um, lost the spirit behind or the lost faith in Torres when he went to Chelsea. I get that, but El Nino when he was a Red, I thought was possibly. I thought he was not only one of the most exciting players I've seen. He was arguably one of our best forwards before the knee injury. I think he was one of our best forwards that this club has had the pleasure of having, and they've had an enormous number of incredible forwards to grace that list. Where you place El Nino, that's for your opinion. We can get to that to another time, but there are some out there that are comparing this individual to El Nino. I've seen a lot of this being circulating on the social media platforms out there. I was just going to say this. He got asked that question. It was somewhat awkward because I saw him get asked that question. He got asked that question standing next to Steven Gerrard. And Steven Gerrard even said out loud on the mic, so all of us could hear. He said that there are some definite qualities that these two individuals share. Is it dangerous when you start trying to make these types of comparisons or putting these types of is it dangerous to put those types of again, I don't know how to put it, but these this player is the next El Nino, or he's the like so often you hear he's the next Messi. Is it dangerous to do that?
Yeah, not a big fan.
Not a big fan.
Yeah, similarities are there. Don't get me wrong. But Hugo is Hugo and Torres is Torres. So
exactly. I was just wondering. You feel the same way, Nalante?
Yeah, same as JK. Yeah, just no need. We'll see it. Let him breathe. Let him breathe.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering, because you will see a lot of mention of this. I think on a lot of different. You will see a lot of mention on the socials. You'll see a lot of mentioning of it on in just in your everyday conversations about Ekitike.
And you know what annoys me as well? It's like all these reporters asking Florian Wirtz, what's it like playing with Hugo, and you made a combination there. Now they keep on asking him the same thing. You're giving opposition our tactics. Like you're telling them there's a connection between them two. Okay, let's put 3 players between them then. All day. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Come on, man.
That he was. El Nino. Oh man. I think it was because of that finish yesterday. I saw a clip and they were like, "Oh, who's this remind you of?" And they showed El Nino's finish that was very similar to the old his second goal, at least, very similar to something that El Nino performed. But El Nino could score from almost any angle. I thought personally, he was a talent. He was not just a pace merchant. He had speed. He had finesse. He was a real talent. Steven Gerrard says he's one of his favorite players ever to play with, actually. So hopefully Florian Wirtz says the same about Ekitike, and even Isak, by the way, too. Who I don't see again to re-emphasize the question. I think that we're going to be in for a treat once Ekitike and Isak get back into the fold. I think that it will be in a real treat, especially if they get the opportunity to play with each other on the pitch. Pause. Let me make sure I say that. If they get to actually be teammates on the pitch, that'll be very, very important to see for our club, I believe, because you'll see some real some great interplay between the two of them. We've already seen a little bit of it, but just wondering. Stevens says Suarez was the best player he ever played with.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
He did say that.
Suarez is probably the best player I've seen with my own 2 eyes. What a player.
Oh, so he's getting emotional about it.
He's like Gerrard is.
Don't like that.
Before we bounce out, and I have a little moments of red zen because we're coming up on the 3-hour mark. I appreciate the fact that we still have 200 people in the chat, but I cannot do what Brian does on his channel and go 5-6 hour long sessions. I have to get something to I have to get some dinner, and unfortunately I'll be the one that has to make it probably. So I will say this. There was also there was a unique situation out there, and I was hoping I could find the one about Florian Wirtz. Let me see if I can find the one about Florian Wirtz. Because it was an interesting take about how Florian Wirtz has had a little bit of a struggle, I would say, which will be kind. Uh, a little bit of a struggle in the start of his Premier League existence. However, um, that was certainly um, not the case when as of late. And why I'm bringing it up, and I'm going to see if I can't find the find the actual tweet. By the way, I would like to say too, real quick, it's totally separate conversation, but shout out to the Liverpool ball boy, by the way, who was influential in getting Ekitike his second goal in one way or another. I just saw that tweet as well. He got the ball to Ali quickly, and Ali was able to get the ball back in play quickly so that they can get it up the pitch and get that goal. But let me see if I can't find it. I was looking for this comparison. And what I was going to say is it's unique because there was a real emphasis about the play of Wirtz in the beginning of the year. You heard the 007, 009, 00 this, 00 that kind of talk. And why I'm bringing that up is because, I thought I bookmarked it. Maybe I didn't. But why I bring that up is because Palmer has had a really poor year this season, to say the least. He has not done well under his bar and the amount of fanfare that Palmer gets. But yet all of the attention was placed on Florian Wirtz. And I was wondering if you even thought is that maybe like a German versus English bias, do you think, when it comes to our media or to the media?
Of course.
Okay. Easy enough.
Mm-hmm. But the Germans welcomed Harry Kane big time. Mm-hmm. Like he's even got his own chips and stuff like that, like crisps, crisps? I don't know what you guys call it, chips, I think you guys call it.
Chips, yeah. I know what you mean.
So he's got his own brand out there of chips and stuff like that, and I think he likes it there. But they welcomed him, England captain, you know what I mean? Mad.
It's just an interesting statistic because you see it quite a bit, and like it's the same thing when I noticed that too, and this is why I was bringing that up too. Not even about Wirtz, but I saw this too, and it was very, very telling. There are those out there that will talk about Saka versus Salah. Yet these are the stats for the two players this season. Now, I will openly admit that this is a very down year for Salah. However, it is interesting when you do look at the statistics and you see that Saka is having an even worse season or worse year than Salah is having. And that is on a team that is in first place in the Premier League and has not lost a game in Champions League.
Yeah.
Yet the conversation is all about Salah. And then often that conversation even gets to sometime a nuance of, let's compare Salah to Saka.
Yeah, when
Is-
Saka's playing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, the Liverpool bias, anti-Liverpool, has been there forever. And they will pick on anything just to upset our rhythm. Football's big. Not everyone likes Liverpool, you know, so the bias is there. It's pretty big. Saka hasn't been great this season. He's been injured, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So players have off seasons or off games or whatever. So that also, but 9 goals or an assist in 16 games is not bad when you really think about it. You know, that's the mad thing. A poor Salah gives you 9 goals and assists in 16 games. Come on, man.
I think that's just interesting. Over as Philip's saying, over their careers, you can't put Saka on Salah's level,
You can't.
and you really can't. Saka has had some very, very good years.
What's he won there, bro? What's Saka winning in his career? A corner?
That's wrong. That's wrong.
That's right, though. You know, it's right, though, bro. Come on. What's he won? Nothing. FA Cup.
I'll say JK doing this to Saka, basically.
What the?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's too funny, that is.
Anyway.
But I like Saka. I think he's a top player. He is a top player.
He is. He certainly is.
That
I think
was
he's a good player.
That what Cucurella is that type of guy that only that can happen to him. If you know what I mean. Cucurella's that player, man. If you ask me, Traore gripped a Chelsea player and chucked him like that, like a WWF style, who is it? I will tell you straight away it was Cucurella. He's that type of guy, man.
Jeez. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Again, here's what JK was basically doing with that comment. He's good.
No.
That is wrong.
There
Saka is a better player than that. He's good. He's a good player. This wasn't an indictment on Saka. I was just joking. You're all just joking.
Saka's top. I tell you the truth, if I could buy him for Liverpool to replace Salah after, I'll take him. He's a good player. But hasn't won anything. Always remember that.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Very true. All right. Well, people, is there anything you wanted to talk about? Because we're going to end at the 3-hour mark here. So, right before the 3-hour mark, at least. So, is there anything you guys wanted to bring up or talk about? I gave a chance to the chat to bring up something that you wanted to question. Any questions you have for the panel or myself? You're more than you feel free to bring it up right now before we end the segment. Please do if you can. If not, is there anything you'd like to bring up with the panel?
Like we've got a week sort of rest now, so that's good. We'll give I wouldn't let them train. Good 2-3 days. Let them rest up, man. It's winter as well. Like they're out there every morning, like 7. I don't know what time they get there to the ground and stuff, but it's early and it's nippy. And these guys are doing that, and they get paid well for it. Don't get me wrong, but not a lot of people want to go out there with their shorts on at 9-10 o'clock in the morning. And like when the ball hits you in that weather, that's the one. In winter weather, playing football and the ball hits you on your leg, it's a stinger.
Hey, imagine trying to go up for a header against that. I mean, that's not.
But I like playing on snow. I've played on snow. It's very slippery.
Mhm.
But it's sort of cool because when you slide it down it, you know, and
Mhm.
you can slide from the top half of it to the you can slide from the centre halfway line into the box, no problem. Reach a corner kick, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, but for
Molante's
me, the future of the season, bro, it's like we've got a week off. We've got Man City next Sunday. Then you got the Champions League playoffs. Happily, we're not involved in that. So there's a bit
yeah.
of time now where we can rest players.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's
Get
like
some
Man
people fit.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man City. We've got the FA Cup in between as well. So we've got Brighton in that. I wish we had a weaker team than Brighton. It would have been better for us. But the Man City game, yeah. Then we got Sunderland away after the Man City game, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, look, Slot has to make sure we're playing Champions League football next season if he leaves. It's as simple as that when you really look at it. If he's gave us a Premier League title and qualification for the Champions League next season plus an FA Cup, you're gonna take
Mhm.
it, ain't ya? So but for me, winning the Champions League is also a real possibility in that way where if we prepare ourselves well in the
Mhm.
way we have already this season in away games in the Champions League. Marseille away, for me, top result that was. I was expecting something different, but a 3-0 away win there
Take it.
is good. Plus
Yeah.
the Inter game, plus the Inter away game as well.
Yeah.
So we show up in big games.
Yeah. It's just
Yesterday,
it's these
it's these
yeah,
little
it's these little games
like,
or not little,
it's them
but
small. No, I wouldn't say
right.
smaller teams, but level of quality and financial strength
Mhm.
teams.
Mhm.
We find it difficult to play against.
Yeah.
Why? Look at yesterday. The reason why we scored 4 is because
Mhm.
Newcastle wanted to attack us. They didn't come to Anfield to sit back. You know,
Mhm.
look how they started the game off yesterday. They were all over us. You know, so
Mhm.
that sort of worked into our plan. Arnie Slot can play okay against teams who want to attack us. In that way, he's a sort of a good manager when you look at it. But he
Yeah.
finds it difficult when everyone's behind the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Pop said on a Quasi show, the way you beat a low block sort of team is when you play them 1-2s.
Yeah.
In
Yeah. 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 You
transition.
gotta be
Simple,
quick.
bro.
You can't sit on the ball.
You can't sit on the ball. So for me, 1-2s and dribbling. That's how you
Mhm.
beat low block teams. Or you whacking screamers from outside the box. That's
Right.
3-4 ways you can beat a low block team or set pieces.
Right.
So
Agreed.
that's the future anyway. So it was good that we beat Newcastle. That was very important. Just to keep us there in between, like involved.
Just
Because
to
we've got to
keep
get
us in the
Champions League.
conversation, I think was important. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you mentioned before we head on out of here, I know that you do you want to say peace out to or
Oh,
you
of
want
course, as well, bro. To the chat as always, top
yeah.
lads, top conversations. Hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah, Nalante, you want to say peace out before I give this red zen for the people in the chat?
Yeah, big up to everyone and the viewers that made it 200 plus. Keep supporting, keep subscribing. Like I said, me, JK 12th. I'm the man that who's always sleeping when we try to call him. He's broken a ladies and gentlemen. When Lee comes back, can you please put the love hearts for Lee? Broken up with Tracy, so give him some encouragement. But yeah, yeah, big up the chat, big up everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, Lee was good. Philip. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I'll give you a little bit of red zen. You know what? We try to do try to leave everyone in a little bit of a proper mood. And it was funny, you said Unana, and I was thinking, like, who are you talking about? And then I recognized, so you're speaking on. But there used to be a goalkeeper that played for the Red Devils named Onana.
Yeah.
And for those, I know that this was, I will openly admit, under the Amarin administration, but all the same, there are sometimes where you can understand that there's a culture and a concept of where the level is with the club. And let me just show you. This is what you get when you are a Red Devil and you are a goalkeeper for the Red Devils. You get this. Now, what type of what type of that's this if that's how you get warmed up before a game, have at it. Have at it.
For me, it's the hug at the end. Look, 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 look.
Yeah,
It's
I ain't
done
seen
that
you in
job.
20 years,
Yeah,
bro.
you know,
No wonder he ain't there no more. The guy didn't
stuff.
want to hug him no
Jobs.
more. He's like,
Gosh,
I don't want to hug him.
wow. Absolutely Reds then right there.
It's like
So
he saved the last penalty in a penalty shootout at Wembley.
Yeah,
Hugs him.
that's the last time we played for United. That's his last
that
ever.
could have
It's mad.
been.
He's come and he's gone. It's mad.
It could have been. Everyone out there, please do take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones in your life as well. They're important to have. Trust me. Spend as much time as you can with them, and as always, cherish the time that you do get to spend with them. We appreciate the time that we got to spend with you today. Hopefully, you'll join us tomorrow in the same numbers. Hopefully, on a Monday. And hopefully no one has the case of the Mondays. But I hope everyone has a fantastic end to their weekend, if not the start of their week. And we will have we will be doing a deadline countdown tomorrow. We'll be doing a deadline show tomorrow. So if you want to be with us while we watch any late signings, or we give you updates on any signings that have been made by us, if not other teams. Yep, the window shuts in 19 hours. We will do our best to give you those updates as they happen, and we will go all the way up to the actual close of the window. So please join us tomorrow. And like we said earlier, like, subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. If you're over on X, hop on over to YouTube. Do give us a little bit of a subscribe and a like, if you will. And then you can watch us on either platform. Look at it that way. But until then, up the Reds each and every
Just
time.
sorry, just 1 second, 12. Sorry. I will be doing something. I'm going to start doing this now on my YouTube channel. I'm going to do my review in the game and just about Liverpool content creator and just my opinion in terms of Liverpool content creators. So yeah, I'll be doing something tomorrow on my YouTube page. So yeah, just check that out.
Can you
we've
put his channel in the chat by any chance? JK?
I could do that. No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you, sir. Very kind of you, sir.
No worries, bro.
No. Oh, put a wait. Put a wait. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm done. I'm done.
We got a leprechaun in the building, apparently.
Indeedy. So yeah, this is something I'm gonna start doing just once in a while. Yeah. So I'm gonna try reclaim. So if I look like a zombie, just please apologies. Yeah. Work related anyway. But yeah, I'm just gonna start doing that, obviously. Just my own personal views and maybe elaborate a little bit more. So yeah, I'll start doing that for tomorrow. So yeah, just have a little check out. But it's more mainly all roads leading to 12th, man. So yeah, big up everyone. That's it.
Yeah, big up Lee and JK putting that in for us. Thank you. Definitely, if you can, definitely give him a subscribe too, people. Definitely go over so that you get alerted to when Milante brings out his hot takes, because that I'm sure they will be on fire, volcano style takes. So it'll be worth the watch and worth the listen for sure.
Yeah, check it out.
Yes, the URL is different on some apps, I believe. It can be different on some apps. So you could hit either of those links and it should bring you to Nolante's page. But again, tomorrow we'll be live. We're going to go live, I think, either an hour and a half or 2 hours before, something like around that range, before the window ends. The window is going to be, so we'll probably be on live at 5, if not 5:30 UK time. The window will shut at 7 o'clock. So most likely, I'll call it 5:30. Let's say we'll be on live at 5:30. That way, we'll have a half hour after the window closes to talk about what happens if we pick up anyone, if something happens with a rival, if something happens with someone that is contending with us for top 4. We'll have all that information down and in the stratosphere for you tomorrow. But until then, up the Reds each and every time. People, thank you so much. You'll never walk alone. Surely does mean something for some out there, and hopefully it does for you. And we will see you tomorrow. So take care.
I'll put KJ's link in there as well. One of us, our guys, he does a few videos, so I'll put the
yes.
link
Oh
Big
yeah,
up, KJ.
AJ is one of the OGs. Definitely one of our OGs. Part of our inner circle here. So definitely show some love for KJ as well. But we'll check you out tomorrow, people. Be safe, be blessed, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.